You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
I'm Joey.
I'm Wes.
I'm Brian. Welcome to episode 58 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt's podcast, where we talk about gravel bikes, gravel events, adventure bike stories, and adventure bike stories.
Do we just change our podcast?
Yeah.
I just change it up all the time. I just make things different and make things new
Keep
to keep
people
it fresh.
on edge.
Yeah, you never know what's coming. Sometimes when we mess something up, we talk about that too.
You always know when I'm coming.
We always mess stuff up.
So, joining us a little later this episode is Travel Olson, the event director of GRUSK, the Gravel Race Up Spruce Knob. Now, last week, I promised everybody Kelly Paddock from Rocktown Rambler.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be with us this week, but we had a little scheduling glitch.
What the hell?
So, we have got Kelly joining us next week on episode 59.
Or do we?
At this point, I think we do. I'm feeling pretty confident. She was pretty bummed out to have to miss things, but you know, life gets in the way.
All right.
And I'm excited to have Kelly next week.
Maybe she's moving to Michigan, too.
I don't think she's moving to Michigan. Only the smart people are moving to Michigan.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I've
yeah.
heard.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're calling it.
Joey, what's going on in Patreon?
Nothing. Actually, during
Someone
was
do that all the time.
someone was a
Gotcha.
Ramon from Harrisonburg, VA.
Yep.
He was minutes away from earning a triple sticker pack.
Now we have to debate this.
Do we?
I don't think so. We said during podcast.
Yeah, during.
So it has to be. I mean, because he was
It's like
pretty
hitting the
close.
lottery.
He was close to the window. Close don't count.
No.
No.
Okay, because it was like a couple of hours
I
ago
was-
that Ramon came.
Ours isn't close.
I was
Okay.
close to winning
Yeah.
the gold. No.
Okay,
So
so
first, you're last.
Look, we appreciate you getting...
jumping in.
yeah, but no good.
I
No
will
good.
have. Man, we're talking over each other. I will have that out tomorrow. Sticker
Yeah.
pack.
Okay, so Ramon, just a single sticker pack
Yes.
because
I'll put some love in there.
put a little extra. I think
Gross.
everybody gets a little extra.
Speaking of a little love, I went into Dunkin' Donuts this morning and took my big Yeti,
Yeah.
and I had the Love You Buy sticker on it, and the lady, she's out there. She kind of rotates from all the establishments in that shopping center, and she's staring at it, and she's like, love it. She's trying to pronounce the Love You Buy. And
Right.
finally, when it clicked, she's like, it says Love You Buy, and she was showing all the people inside.
Did you give her a sticker?
No.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I
Joey
don't
doesn't-
just keep them on hand. Dude, our stickers have a dollar sign now. They
That's
hold
right.
value.
That's
So-
right. I've actually tagged my Zwift name with the hashtag Love You Buy.
Oh, mine just says GTD.
I have like my SIC number and then the hashtag Love You Buy, but I think it sounds like kind of a dicky thing because it's like Love You Buy, like I'm going to go buy you, but then when people are passing me, they're like, ha ha ha, ha, yeah, Love You Buy, right? I don't know.
Yeah, either way, they get to say it, right?
Either way, they get to laugh at it and look at it and go and smile, and it brings a smile to somebody else's life as they're sitting miserably on a trainer, slugging away in a dank, dark basement.
Dank.
Dank.
I love the word dank.
You do?
Man, that car was dank.
Well, that wasn't a good thing in my context,
Oh.
but I think in yours it is a dank, dark basement.
Dank.
Anyway.
Yeah, so the lady was like, oh, Love You Buy. And she kept saying it. And I was like, I just want my Thin Mint iced coffee.
So speaking of sticker sales,
Oh, yeah. We
Walk
hit, we are making tens of dollars. Actually, we're selling these to invest in more stickers.
everything goes right back in.
Everything goes back in. So sticker pack shout outs. We have Craig from Owasso, Michigan.
Somewhere in Michigan.
Yeah, somewhere in that stupid state. Bradley from Mishawaka. Oh, man, I have a friend out there.
Mishawaka,
Mishawaka, Illinois.
Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah.
Same thing.
We have multiple
It
from
starts with an
Indiana.
I.
I don't think these are all on here.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I looked in the
Maybe
in
it
the
is.
cart.
Maybe I did a Patreon to Indiana too lately. Kevin from Fairfax, Virginia. Gary from Roanoke. And Will from Strasburg, PA.
I think we met Will at Philly Bike Expo.
We did.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
Virginia is in the lead for sticker packets.
Oh, we ought to keep a tally.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great idea.
And everyone in that state at the end will win one sticker.
Another one of our great ideas that we will never actually implement. We've got so many great ideas.
We need to have someone listen to our podcast like at 3 times speed
then
and
what-
like take track of all these ideas we've talked about or things we said we would keep up with.
The candy gravel scale.
Candy
Yeah.
gravel scale, the bike fishing event where
Yep.
we go and do that. I've talked to a couple
Prius
people about
packing,
that. Yep.
all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
Oh, we haven't seen the Prius in a while.
No.
How
How's
is
it
that
doing?
old bird?
Oh, it's fine. It's
Yeah?
fine. Just since the
Word
cement,
about it.
the cement turd showed up, and now
The
the Prius
turd.
has been delegated to secondary duty. I still got a green turd in the driveway if anybody wants to buy
Duty.
a used truck.
I thought someone gave you a check for that while you're
No.
still looking for the title.
Not yet.
Some little kid.
I am still looking for the
Like
title.
12-year-old.
I got a kid that wants to buy it, and as soon as I can.
How's it
Life
feel to
gets
rip
in
off
the
a kid?
way. No, actually, he's getting a great deal on it.
I'll
'cause
give you $100 so I can take it to the demolition derby at Bud's Creek.
It wouldn't make it. You need to
It's a
rip the rear
bird.
end of that thing. Oh, actually, it's a good deal for the kid.
Yeah.
So it just needs just a little bit of work.
Sounds
and
like a money hole.
he has the ability to do it. So I think that's what makes the difference.
That's fair.
He can actually dig
Just
into it
do
himself, fix it, do what needs to be done to it, and then he can have a great truck to drive for probably at least 100,000 miles.
You
it's a-
know, Hoobie from
I
Hoobie's
feel like every time I get in that truck, it doesn't have 100,000 miles in it.
Hey, it is what it is.
Don't you have like 285,000 or something?
Something like that.
Hoobie from Hoobie's garage just buried his cars before. You should do that.
Buried them
Yeah.
And pulled them out like a year later.
just to see what they would look like after they've been buried.
They worked.
Okay.
That's
I'm not doing
It's
that.
like Pet Cemetery.
Can you imagine how much it would cost to do that?
You have all that
If you-
equipment.
If you ever watch that show, I don't think money is this guy's issue.
Not the problem?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not doing that anyway.
So, what are you drinking tonight, Brian?
Tea, iced tea. Although I did have a couple of slugs of what Wes is drinking, and that is delicious. What do you have in front of you?
Well, I got lucky. We went to the liquor store the other day, and we saw it was a 4-pack of Heavy Seas. It's Grand Cru, so it's a cask beer that they did. It's from 2018. It must have been like the last one on the shelf. It was covered in dust. It's super good.
It is
but
delicious.
It is red wine barrel aged Belgian amber Grand Cru. I don't know, but it's really good.
8.5%. That's what I noticed at the
No.
bottom of it.
It's my favorite brewery, honestly. They do a good job.
It gave me a little bite in the back of the throat
Yeah.
when I took a slide, and then I had to take another one.
If you're ever in the Baltimore area, do the tour. Highly recommended. And then they always have all sorts of cool cask beer there because they let their employees make beers as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so they'll
it's
take like
weird stuff.
Yeah, so they'll take their regular beers and then do like a small batch and let certain employees cask it, and then they'll change it a little bit, and you get something totally different. Yeah, it's really cool.
Huh. That sounds good. What do you got over there, Joe?
A big cup of screwball whiskey.
And I know that Joey made a proclamation that he was going to get all liquored up in this episode.
Oh yeah. Actually, I
Here it goes.
the other night I started a huge cup of this before I started my homework.
Yeah. Oh, that's smart.
And I turned in a paper, and I don't know how it. I turned it in at midnight. Me and Wes were having some fun.
We drank.
Liquor shout out. If anyone can get their hands on the Left Hand Peanut Butter Stout, I will pay $2 above market value for a pack.
$2. I will pay $3 above bar.
That's fine. I'll just buy
it to me,
buy
and
it
then I'll
from you.
just give them.
Yeah,
to
but
you.
it was coming from Virginia. You pay more.
It's true, but the brewery's in Colorado. I went in to buy more yesterday, and no one could get their hands on it.
Where did you have it before?
Mike's. Well, Dennis got me a pack, and then I went to Mike's, which is in Lusby.
Yeah.
And apparently he ordered like 7 cases. They only got 3 last shipment, and they keep trying to order more. I'm first on their list, their call list.
Have you tried Nick's?
No,
Yeah.
Nick's might be a good point.
Well,
Yeah.
I looked at, they have a beer finder on their site, and I looked up they'll tell you for like which exact beer where, and there's nothing within like 25 miles of here except for Mike's that sells it.
Well, that doesn't mean, but Mike's doesn't have it. So I don't know.
I look at all the liquor stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check some of them for a little further up north in my travels.
All right,
I'll see if I will make it a mission.
$2 on their cost.
That Total
Okay.
Wine place or whatever, that like giant mega wine store probably has it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's outside of DC.
when you order alcohol online, do they scan your license or something?
I don't know how that works,
I
but
was
I know you
thinking-
pay a lot in shipping.
You mean when you buy it to have it
Yeah,
delivered?
No, it's like 16-year-old Jimmy ordering a
I don't know
total
how
pack
that-
of like,
I have
Just
no
hey,
idea.
mister it.
hey, mister,
Hey, mister.
get this thing off me. mister.
So I still have a broken bike, but I think it's going to be fixed tomorrow.
Yep.
Thank
you
you,
messed up
Joey.
a lot of stuff on that
I
thing.
know I did. Why don't you give me the rundown on what
All
I
right,
actually
so what
broke?
Brian did, Brian broke everything. So we got him a new titanium moots with GRX.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Your
400.
bill is not going to be small.
That might be worth it, though.
We did get you $250 for your bike.
That's right.
All right. So upon the scene during triage, all we saw was a broken derailleur and derailleur hanger. Upon further inspection, You busted teeth off your crank and your cassette.
Okay.
And to be safe, we don't know if the chain was good or not, so I threw it out.
Right.
And that's about it.
Wasn't there some spokes that were damaged?
Oh, yeah, I got to rip that thing out tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
those the other day.
So-
And when you put it all back together, you're going to do the fancy pants waxed chain thing.
I already waxed your chain, big boy.
Did you give it a nice Brazilian wax?
Yep.
Nice. So it's going to
Yeah.
be smooth.
Looks
So
good.
I don't
Yeah.
know if between... I don't want to run into my own... I'll let you finish your...
Okay, you got it. And then, well, with the broken bike, all I've been doing is Zwifting. And the weather's been kind of crappy anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to...
rain. Yeah.
So hopefully that'll clear up. I have bikepacking adventure night coming up at the shop.
We got a lot more signups today.
Good. Today, so we're recording again. Everybody knows our schedule. We record on Tuesday. Podcast comes out on Thursday. So the actual event is Thursday night.
This Thursday night?
This Thursday night.
Nobody tells me nothing.
Thursday.
Yeah. So if anybody hears this on Thursday and wants to come learn all about bikepacking and adventuring from probably one of the most preeminent experts in the field right now, probably that lives in Solomons. Maybe.
Maybe.
But I don't live in Solomons.
Are you talking about yourself? I thought you were talking to me. I was like, oh, thanks, Brian.
No, I know I know
mean-
enough to get people in trouble.
I would say you're probably in the top 5 in the Mid-Atlantic, do you think?
No.
Of experts?
No.
You're professional.
That doesn't make
Dude, Bear
any
Grylls lives in D.C.
Oh, does he?
difference. Yeah, I don't.
At the Embassy
I don't-
Suites?
I don't know.
I know enough to get in trouble. And I know enough to tell people what not to do. But doing things right, maybe.
Look, when you see a shortcut, you always take it.
Through the swamp.
Regardless of danger.
That's right. And never turn back. Always
Never.
go forward, forward, always forward.
When you sink into water up to neck deep, trudge on.
So one of my number one tip, and you guys know this, I've said it before.
Don't listen to
Oh,
Brian.
no, I have the tip section.
No, my number one tip for any kind of bike touring, bike travel, bike packing, bike camping, whatever it is you're doing, don't pack your fears. So many people do it. They overpack. They pack everything that they think they might need and end up not needing half of what they've got. And we do not live in the African jungle. You can probably get those peanut butter crackers at the store that you're going to pass somewhere
Yeah,
along
See,
the way. So
I
relax.
I have the opposite problem.
Yeah?
I'm either not scared or I'm dumb.
You don't pack anything.
I don't pack anything. So I'm like, I get to camp and like everybody's like doing cool stuff. I'm like, well, I got this like half a toothbrush. Like,
I think I've fed you a lot on trips. It's like,
I don't
I
ever
have,
bring any food.
I
Yeah.
have too much food. Wes, here, would you like this?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, why not?
Chicken and little Mountain House chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Nittany Mountain Works has a bag for that stuff, though,
Yeah,
for packing your fears.
back in your fears.
I've got it. Looks good.
It should have a
It's
hole in
burnt
the
orange,
bottom of it, so
yeah.
you can only put one fear in it at a time, and it would just automatically fall out. I did a guest appearance on another podcast.
What?
I saw that.
Yeah.
And you guys were worried about me leaving the dirty chain.
This one's a much different space, as you guys know. And I think Joey likes to fish too, and you fish too. You like to fish, don't you, Wes?
I catfish.
Yeah, I know. There's a podcast over on the Eastern Shore near Blackwater. It is Blackwater's Edge podcast, and those guys are big snakehead aficionados, northern snakehead, because that's a big fish that people catch
It's
in
invasive.
Is
the
a
Blackwater.
northern one different than a southern one?
Northern one is different from the Bullseye, which is in Florida. I think that's just the particular brand of snakehead we have here in Maryland that
Interesting.
survives.
Like how we have rockfish in the bay, but it's a sea bass somewhere else?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I went over there and sat in with these guys on a podcast in my capacity as the publisher of Chesapeake Angler Magazine. Had a great time. They reminded me a lot of us, except they have a really cool setup that they never have to take down. They got a whole room in his general store that is dedicated to their podcast. He's some good old boys. And it's like, you guys do a podcast, and like half of them don't know what it is.
Someone shooting a gun off mid-podcast.
Nah, yeah. There was all kinds of noises.
Cat
And
scream.
Oh, man, I would love to have like a little skeet trap up here.
What a nice setup these guys have. They do video and audio, and it's all set up, and it's just a really nice.
What do they
cool
do
thing.
video of them just talking?
Yeah. So it's like the same thing we're doing here, but cameras on each person, and Eddie just sits there and kind of flips the feed back and forth and records it from. So it's rough.
They just look at their double chins. And that's
Yeah.
what we. That's what we got.
Mine like looking up my nose
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, my nephew and my brother went over there with me. and
That's cool.
It was a lot of fun. And I'll say that it's kind of nerve-wracking being on the other side of the board because, I know how you guys feel because I'm in control of the sound over here. And
Speaking of which, is that red light on?
The red light is on.
All right.
Everything's
Oh,
recording. The
Lord.
little red ticker is going up. Yeah, amateur hour. And it's a little disconcerting to be on the other side of the microphone and not have all of that in your control. So I'm maybe a little bit of a control freak, maybe.
That's how I grew up. I just relinquished my powers.
Okay, that's all I've got this week. What do you guys got going on?
Well, not too much.
Bike swap.
Yeah, talk
That
about
was
bike
probably the
swap.
biggest thing.
Bike swap. Came and left. Hated it. And that's it.
It's changing, man. It's not the
I bet it's
same.
miserable to work.
Hmm?
I bet you it is miserable.
Well,
to work.
we get up at 2:30 in the morning to drive 2 hours to stand on cold concrete floor for 8 hours.
I walked around it for an hour, and by the time I was done, I was like, damn, my legs hurt. My feet hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
I think. What was our first year? 2009?
Yeah,
10?
9 or 10, something like that.
I've been to every bike swap since that one.
So was it still where half of it was where you could go ride bike?
That
What,
was,
test
yeah.
ride. Yeah,
For
that was
years.
so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, but then I got more vendors.
Well, there was a lot of weird vendors there this year.
There's weird vendors every year.
Everybody
No.
is selling garbage.
Well, everybody's selling garbage, but then there was like the guy selling like the lawn art things, like the
Yeah.
little flags that you put in. It's like that has nothing to do with it.
Oh,
What are you doing?
you
here?
saw
Well,
that?
because
Yeah.
the
I would have bought some of that.
Stop, Swap, and Save wants to make money. They still have to buy
right.
vendor space.
They'll
you know?
put anybody in there. We'll
Yeah,
put
why not?
anybody in here.
They had a lady selling barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
yeah.
I saw that, yeah.
It was weird stuff, and I had never seen that before. But anyway, I don't want to intrude.
It
What-
happens.
No,
Did you
definitely.
guys see anything cool there? Anything at all?
Well, there was that one frame that we're still trying to figure out who the person was
Oh,
that
yeah.
got the Radivist attention.
Yeah.
It was like a handmade cross frame.
It had like a rusty paint that was like on purpose. It was
Like it was just
beautiful
a
bike.
simple, clean looking bike, you know,
Yeah.
and it was being sold in like the general population of bikes, which was a little bit weird. And it was autographed, and it was like one of like 6 or something like that, or
Something
number
like that.
6 of.
So the
100.
Radivist was there?
Jared Blunk from the Radivist, who's one of the big journalists, photographers.
And the only
Okay.
reason we know this is because we were parked right outside of that bike.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we had eyes on it, but we'd watch a handful of people just come over and like take pictures of it and blah blah blah. So
Didn't catch my eye. I don't know what I'm looking
well, I
at.
mean, it caught Joe and I's eye. I
was
think
the
it was
first
just
bike I
'cause-
saw.
Yeah, like it was simple. There was no name branding. There was no nothing to it. It was just there, and it was like that's clean.
So it was handmade.
And then everyone
Yeah.
keeps taking close-up pictures. We're like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, we weren't really sure what we were looking at, but we saw it. You know, and
Yeah.
it drew us to it over like every other bike that was like super flashy.
What was the
Yeah.
price on it? Did anybody go look?
2,800.
lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
And it had like
I
10
think more than what it was supposed to be, but I don't know who this frame maker is. You know.
Yeah.
It had like 10-speed XT on it. It was the build wasn't impressive, but the frame was beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was just simple and clean. Yeah.
Well, I think people come to the bike swap looking for cheap bikes. And
Well, I know, like when we used to go, we used to get real excited about it, but at the time, I think we were way more interested in just building up like just cheap projects.
right.
And I think we're a little bit past that now, where we want a bike that we're going to go out and ride, and it's going to be reliable, and we don't have to like tinker with the whole time.
So you might look at like a body of parts and go, I don't have anything to use these for, but maybe they look like they would be cool, so let me grab those things because I can get them cheap.
Yeah,
and
or-
then we're going to build something later.
No, or you just walk around, you find a frame, you're like, okay, sweet, and then you start and you find a good price on shifters, or
Right.
you find a good price on handlebar, and you're like, all right, well now we're going in this direction, or you find wheels, and you're like, all right, well this should fit, and you just start like building, building things
Frankenbike.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was just kind of fun, and I think if you want to do that now, you can, but everybody for some reason they're just is bringing parts that are just like beat the shit out of.
I was looking for pedals, and
Or-
I swear I couldn't find
yeah.
anything that looked like it had any life left in it.
Or the parts are from like the 70s.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like there was nothing like
And
late
cheap-
90s to like early 2000s, you
And
know?
cheap 1970s parts too.
Yeah.
Not like the good stuff, not campy stuff. It was like good.
Yeah.
Just
So, yeah.
Garbage.
But Joey made a good point where, you know, he thinks it's all like the internet swap sites that are out there now.
Yeah.
You have bike swap 24/7, you
so
know?
Facebook is killing
Yeah.
the bike swap.
I think I bet it's got to have an impact, you
Yeah.
know? There's no way it can't.
Because before people had to wait
To get to bike swap.
Yeah.
Because that was the place you would go to find a good deal on a used bike.
Or you put it on Craigslist and it was a pain in the ass and, you know, it worked or it didn't.
But now Facebook Marketplace is kind of
Yeah,
taking
because you
over
can.
that.
Yeah, Facebook. I have a lot better luck on Facebook Marketplace for anything than
Craigslist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But I also
Jinx,
just
you owe
buy
me one
what
of
I.
these.
I mean, but too now I just buy what I want new. Like I'm not 20 years old and
You know what struck me too was
lightning.
the long line of people that seemed longer this year. The line seemed longer to me than it has been in the past. Now, partly, I think the last couple of years it's been really crappy weather, like raining or snowing or something. So people would wait and then come a little later.
It's fairly decent weather this year.
Do you know that the line to get into Bike Swap, because you guys were inside, so you didn't see it, the line went all the way out to the road.
Oh yeah,
Really?
People.
It used to
Holy
It used
crap.
to go around the side of the building because one year we handed out flyers of what we had.
This was, I think, further than that, because it went all the way out, and it was like on the road out.
Oh,
Damn.
Like, so you went up the hill, past the parking lot.
Like the last person in line could see the hospital.
suckers!
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
easy, because you were on the road, not that direction, but to continue to go up the hill
I
to
gotcha.
the road.
Yeah.
So then that's the longest line I've ever seen to get in there.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, how can the bike industry and how can local bike shops be hurting so badly if there's this many people that want to come buy stuff?
because
Well, because
no
they're
one
buying all
want-
that cheap crap. Like,
Yeah.
They're not buying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone wants a deal now. No one wants to, just buy.
But that's like business models though. Like when you go to like a clothing store, you're not looking at the things that are fully priced half the time. You're looking at
Nope.
you're looking at like the Kohl's business model where you're like, oh, that was $100, but I can get it for 60. That's a deal. You know, everybody, you're like almost conditioned for deals now. Because most of the big places you're buying stuff, you're not looking at the retail price. You're looking at the deal you get.
Okay. And I guess it's the only people that are really making money at that point. It's not the shop, it's the manufacturer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the manufacturer is making all the money, and the shop. But without the shop to sell it, what's the manufacturer going to do? I know direct to consumer, but I just don't know that works. Buying a bike direct to consumer for most people. I'm not going to go in and buy my first bike from Diamondback online.
Dude, you'd be surprised. I feel like even
But do they get what they really need or want?
no, but I
Sometimes.
think there's an ignorance level there too, where you don't know what you're missing or what you've done wrong. You know.
Okay.
It's a gateway drug. It might get them hooked. Like that $300 kayak at Dick's. It gets them kayaking, but then they come to buy a new one for me later
For
because
$2,000.
they bought a water bottle.
Yeah.
Even like $800 or $900 is a huge difference.
Yeah. Okay.
So, well, the future of bike shop is service anyway.
Yeah.
I just find it interesting that there were so many people, and you can't hardly walk down the aisles. And it just at the same time though, there's bike shops that are local bike shops that are closing down.
I think there's
And
been
it just seems like it's
five
so weird.
in the last few months in the
Really?
Maryland area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it's just how they're run or where they're at, like the amount of rent that they pay, or the number of staff that they need.
to make it happen.
If you're in one of those high population areas, you got to have a big staff, and you got to have inventory, and then your rent is probably enormous.
And I guess economies come into play too. You look at somebody like Racepace that has a lot of stores.
But Racepace has grown slowly and kind of methodically throughout the years.
Yeah, and they
They've
started
not,
a
like-
long time ago.
Yeah, and they've not sporadically just like because 2020 like opened like 3 shops like after like a year or two, and then
Well,
where
They
they-
had 2 stores and
they
they
were-
moved.
They were
One-
trying to fast track the model,
yeah.
and that doesn't work. It just struck me that it's something that the bikes are such high ticket items, and there's so many people, but yet the bike shop struggles.
Yes, they're high ticketed, but there's also no margin.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. That's the problem.
But-
It's
I mean, it's the Amazon era, Like I'm not blaming bike shop struggles 100% on Amazon or online sales, but I mean it's a real thing. Like I would have a hard time, and maybe it's just because I come from retail. I would have a hard time going to somebody else's store and like looking around like, oh, well, I could just buy this on Amazon for $10 cheaper, and like looking at the salesperson who just told me about everything
and walk away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that happens all the time, and that's just like in our small little world,
Yeah. Anyway,
That's kind of crazy.
Man, I had a
just
customer
jump
today call me to help me he's like, hey, man, I know he doesn't listen. So, I mean, we've done a lot of work with this guy before where we've helped him out and then he just cuts us out of the equation until he needs us. And he's like, hey, can you put this cassette on this new hammer? I think he called it a kicker core on the phone. So I don't even think he know we bought.
Oh, jeez.
And then after I do all this work and try to set him up and offer him discounts here and there because he's part of the club. And then, yeah, he's like, hey, can you put this cassette on my core? And he comes in with an old Cyclops hammer.
Okay.
Like, that's not even what you told me you bought, buddy. And then I think he kind of was surprised I charged him at first to install the cassette. I was like, dude, it's dirty. It's in pieces. I had to put it all together.
It takes
Put it on.
time.
Yeah.
It takes time and effort.
Man,
And-
I'm
He's got the tools. You don't have to buy the tool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go to see Wes anymore. Don't go see Joey. Joey's grumpy.
I'm always grumpy. I've been grumpy. Man, I've been in the bike industry for like forever.
Don't be grumpy.
I haven't had any breaks.
Grumpy girls.
Be sleepy, but don't be grumpy.
Oh man, I was sleepy on the way home from bike swap.
Yeah,
I
Wes-
took like
Wes
30-minute
saw
nap.
him.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
He took like 4 30-minute
I
naps.
kept like
at once.
waking myself up like snoring.
Anybody got anything else to wrap up? For
Yeah, I
the
didn't
week?
even get a. I'm into wax and chains now.
Yeah.
I have the whole homebrew set up.
Is that going to be a tech tip thing? Are you jumping your tech tip?
No, that'll be
cool.
separate.
I haven't looked at that yet.
No, I got the mini crock pot concoction.
Nice.
It's actually a rice cooker.
That looks like I don't care. It's
Walk us through the whole setup.
Waka. All right, so I got this from a friend, and I think I talked about this before, but I ended up going to what's that store that's like Chick-fil-A but for crafts, and they don't open on Sundays? Home Goods.
Hobby Lobby.
No, Hobby Lobby. Yeah.
Like Chick-fil-A.
They're like religious based. I'm not religious. They don't open on Sundays. Also, never pay full price there.
Now, there are rice cooker stores that are just going out of business because you're buying off brand.
No.
It's my old rice cooker.
It's his old
Yeah.
one, and we had an old one at the store that was my fallback.
Okay.
It's a little crock pot.
So, you tell me I got to buy a rice cooker? Is that
No,
what
I
you're
got
telling
one
me?
for you.
Oh.
It's a crock pot. It's mini.
It's a rice cooker. It only has one. You slap it down and that's it.
What if I want a big one, like an
It
8
even
quart?
says rice on the front.
No, it doesn't.
Oh man, speaking of like sizing and Joey,
Okay, go ahead.
so Joey's having a hard time
Hey,
buying
man,
things on the internet
this is part
and
of
getting
my-
it the correct size.
Okay, well, let me get through my story.
Let Joey finish.
All right.
Wax and chains.
Dominate
Go ahead.
everything.
Go ahead.
All right,
We'll
so
dominate you. What?
I got paraffin wax and then paraffin oil, and there's a ratio you use so you get the right consistency so it's not super chunky or flake. Like you've had issues in the past, you said.
Yeah, because when Wes did my chain before, it was like I didn't like it.
Did
Sorry,
I?
Wes.
I never waxed your chain.
Yes, you did.
You think on Austin?
Oh, maybe it was.
I was like,
Austin.
I've never waxed anybody's chain because I think this is a waste of time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm pretty solid on it. But
I'll let you know.
you haven't even ridden it yet.
yeah, but I ride my bike.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Okay, so it's this combo, and you get the right consistency. And I clean like your chain was new, so I degreased it.
Okay.
It needs to be 100% clean, and then you dip it, and then you wipe it off as much as you can, let it hang, and that's it.
So how long does it have to hang?
Just to cool off.
Probably 4 days.
I just let mine sit overnight,
Okay.
and then everything has to be clean, like everything. And then
So the chain comes off.
Yep.
You get it clean.
Yep.
You either you
So
if you've had wax on. Let me see if I make sure I got it. If you've had oil or grease on it or lube,
everything's got to come off.
you've got to actually soak it and get everything off of it, dry it, clean it,
'Cause
make sure that it's clean,
the
or
simple-
start with a new chain.
The simple way to do this is start with a new chain, but you have to get the factory grease off.
So you need to degrease it.
Yeah, and
Because
that-
even though
that
the
was
outside
simple.
looks clean, you still have everything on the
There's
inside.
all kinds of stuff
yeah.
on the inside.
Okay. So I get it spotless. I get
Spotless.
it clean, or start with a new chain and degrease that, even
Yep.
if it's new.
And then
I take that and I've got this fun mixture
Yep.
of paraffin wax and what was the other thing?
paraffin oil.
Paraffin oil.
Yep.
And the ratio has to be right.
Yep.
You heat that up. You dip the chain in it.
Yep.
You pull it out, and you basically just hang it and let it drip dry.
Yep, I use this twisted spoke, so I just pulled it out with that,
Okay.
and then I put a glove on because it's a little hot. I'm not
Okay.
into that wax candle thing like some people are, and then and I got it nice. You don't need all the extra chunk on the outside. It'll still
Okay.
have a little bit, and then you throw her on there and let her rip.
Let her
So they say it's good for a few hundred miles, like
You told
two
me
to 300 miles.
Yeah, you told me 300,
which is like a week for you.
Yeah, a week and a half.
And I found out through the same source that after that, what you should do is get an old pot. Don't use your good ones. Boil some water. Put the chain in that. All the old wax will come off. Take it. Dip
Dip it.
Dip it right into the wax. And start. Put it back in.
Basically, start all over again.
So what's cool is the crock pot. Once you're done with it, you turn it off, and it gets all hard. And then when you're ready to go, you plug it back in, and it melts. And then you just keep. It takes a while to
Lather,
go through
rinse,
it all.
repeat. Just keep
Yeah.
going at it. So that was the trick, was to take the chain after about 300 to 500 miles or whatever your
Yeah,
number
five's
is.
pushing it.
Five's pushing it. So 300. So call it 300. You pull the chain off. You put it in hot water, boiling hot water.
Yep.
Do you
All
let it
the wax.
soak in that, or you just dip it in and
Just
pull
let
it
it
out?
soak for a minute.
Okay, and you pull it back out. And
You
you
probably
let
see
that-
the wax float to the top.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
dry it off really quick, and then dump it right in the.
So you don't have to let that dry after that. You just pull it out, wipe it off,
yeah,
and then dump it right back in your hot
Yep.
wax. Hang it back up for however long.
an
and you're good to go.
hour to cool, and then everything I see, I keep looking it up, and people were telling me everything is always clean this way.
So here's my take: is that I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to do it the right way.
Yep.
I'm going to do it the way you described.
Yep.
But it had damn sight better be like butter down there.
Oh, it will.
Because if it's not, that's pretty labor intensive.
It's a lot of labor.
To set it up.
Do that.
Now,
No, it's labor. Well,
That's
okay.
Okay.
I don't have
your
to pull
bike.
I don't have to pull my chain off every 200 or 300 miles right now.
yeah, but that's like once a year for you.
Oh, slam.
It don't matter.
Anymore. When he gets to Michigan, he's going to be like Mr. Gravel. I know it. I know what's going to happen. Wes is going to get out to Michigan. He's going to
He's
get
a
lit
fat
on
bike.
fire.
I'm just gonna ride my bike.
That's right.
I did
Actually,
order.
if the weather's good tomorrow, we should go ride in the morning.
I don't think it's gonna be good at all.
I won't have my bike yet.
Oh, I will. If only you let me do the repair, it'd be done.
I'm worried about
That was
Spruce.
just a hit because I made fun
Okay.
of your mileage.
Yeah, it was.
I ordered so I used to have a big ultrasonic parts washer at Parvella. Like 3 tanks, everything. All right, so
Joey ordered the ultrasonic parts cleaner he has now, like he ordered the stickers for GTD.
Did he get one that's like jewelry sized?
No.
Yeah.
So I ordered it's a 2-liter. It's big. It's like this big.
You can't even put a mountain bike cassette in it.
I'm sorry. Did you use it today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Several times.
Then
Did
F
it
off.
work? Did
Yeah,
it
it
work
was
beautifully?
awesome.
Okay, let's stop making fun of it.
There you go.
I bought it for change.
As we get closer to Wes's departure, I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more snippy episodes between
Hostile.
Joey and Wes.
That's fine, but
Well, it's great.
this was not a grower at all. It just stayed the same size.
It's a 2-liter. 2 liters a lot.
2 liters is a lot. It's like a soda.
Well, something tells me that the company was probably pretty tricky how they did
Measured
their
it.
sizing. It's probably like the actual size of the whole
Hey.
machine is 2 liters, not the basket dipping area.
At the end of the day, I was able to put 1132 cassette in there with a chain and let it go.
Okay.
And I did like a quarter simple green, the rest water. It heats up and it gets hot and it vibrates and everything comes out squeaky clean without doing any work.
It is very nice.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
So I like having an ultrasonic washer again.
We should definitely get a bigger
Yeah.
one though.
Shop will get a bigger one. This one's going to stay in my like office area.
I think we got to get Dave to put something gross from Dominion in there, like a chain or something,
And just to see.
Yeah.
and then he'll be able
Oh,
to
do a
leave it.
video. Do a video.
It'll be boring and it'll be really loud.
Okay. How long do you have to let that thing go?
Doesn't take long. You need to let it heat up first because
Mhm.
what happened, the heat helps. And then, 5-10 minutes for chain or cassette. I put a really nasty chain in there earlier today and it came out perfect.
So this would be a good thing to do if you wanted to convert
Yeah.
an existing chain to your
Yeah.
wax method.
Or just, in general to clean your stuff. I know a lot of people that listen to this have little ultrasonic washers.
Okay.
It costs like $75-$80 on Amazon.
Yeah, if you
Well, no one around here is going to sell a parts washer. And Brian thinks a parts washer.
I got a parts washer.
Yeah, not
it's
ultrasonic.
not ultrasonic.
It's not ultrasonic. It's about as big as like a little refrigerator, and
Yeah.
somebody could have it if they want it. Come get it.
So yeah, that's about all of it is.
All right. So we got a email. Anybody else got anything else to wrap up activities for the week?
I got fish sticks.
Yeah. Trust the Gorton's fisherman. Wes has finished his burgers. I got an email. We got an email from Sonia
2 weeks ago.
She's back.
2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Well, we didn't read it last week because we were, on site with our friends. So it says, "Hi guys, sorry for being MIA. I'm still listening and really appreciated your shout out a couple of weeks back. Obviously, as you see on Strava, I am riding mostly inside now, but I have been enjoying the first grasshopper last weekend. The mud was epic. I did win the Leadville 100 lottery again, so I have my goal for the year, my A goal for the year. But I love your talk about the races in the region and get quite jealous. I would love to do unpaved. Unfortunately, traveling this far is not an option at this point." And she ends with a "love you, bye." Thanks, Sonia.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
cool. And Sonia actually shows up in the Strava Club. So it's good to hear from Sonia. Sonia would always show up. But I thought she was riding like in Europe or overseas somewhere for a while.
She was all over the place.
Yeah. So I don't feel like, how is, Sonia, send another email. How is unpaved like an adventure?
An exotic location. Yeah.
Speaking of Strava Club, Joey, do we have any Strava Club
Yes,
news?
and I proofread our sheet.
I told you I'm not doing that again.
All
All
right.
done.
So our random rider shout out, number 1 was number 57, Jonathan Hansen from Middletown, Virginia, with 125.1.
That was 57? Okay.
Yep. Sonia actually came in at 16, sweet 16. She's from Reno, Nevada at 212.1. And Russ Cherry from Harleysville, PA at 101.8.
I've seen that Harleysville, PA before. Maybe there's like a bike shop there or something that I follow on Instagram or something.
Doesn't trigger with like Harley Davidson.
No. There's something about Harleysville, and that jumped out at me when I saw that pop up this week. So there might be a bike shop.
Well, to break into the top 100, you needed 91.8.
That's way up. It's
Is
been around 70
Ooh.
for like the last 4 weeks.
Basically, been
it's how
spring the past
Yeah.
It's like 70 out. We're up to 471 from 462.
I would love to break 500 before Wes goes to Michigan. Let's make that a goal.
Yeah. If we break 500, he has to leave.
What if we start losing members?
We've actually, I think there's a few that have gone by the wayside. So we've actually had some ups and downs.
Yeah.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
So-
not always been good news.
Not always been good news, but the number's always been positive on the upside. So who cares if you're leaving? Go
Is
away.
it always a positive on the upside?
Always has. We've always had gains. We've never had like a loss. We've never lost the number, but I think some people have migrated away, and they're probably some of those spammers. I think we should start kicking some spammers out.
Didn't you guys do that on Instagram, and Instagram doesn't like that or something?
Yeah, I got put in Facebook, Instagram jail. If you're listening to this, you're probably on a social media device. Go to strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt and join us.
Absolutely.
Let's kick Wes out.
Okay, this is the moment we've all been
I'm
waiting
ready to
for.
go. Screw you guys. Yeah.
Stop
Go
it.
get your chain dirty.
Stop
No,
it.
if you waxed your chain, you wouldn't have a dirty chain.
My
So
chain's
this-
not dirty.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for like the last 6 weeks, because I promised Joey that if he stuck with his tech tips, I was going to give him his own theme music.
You mean
And-
like when he just says flat kit?
Yeah, well, whatever.
That
I
generated a lot of interest.
have 5 bumper intro clips for Joey to choose from, and this is totally Joey's choice. No voting, no listener stuff. Joey, you get to pick which piece of music will be your regular introduction for Joey's Tech Tip of the Week. Are you ready? I'm going to play first one. This is number 1. You ready?
We're going to listen to all of them.
Yeah, we're going to listen to all of them, but this is number 1.
I feel like I need to set up pit viper glasses and a mullet for that one.
Okay, so that's number 1.
You already have that.
Here's number 2.
I took it too.
Isn't it the Shark Tank theme?
I don't know.
I think that's the Shark
I
Tank
don't know.
theme song.
I just went through my stock music. Here comes number 3.
Dude, you and Jay-Z.
I know.
Time for Joey's Tech Tip of the Week. Number
All right.
4.
Yep. This one sounds easy too. You go to 5.
Here comes number 5.
I think they're all cheesy.
I'm going with this. Oh, yeah.
A little bit of folk
Got a little vocal music.
Tip of the Week.
That's what it sounds like when Joe goes to the bathroom in the morning.
So, you don't have to make a choice now.
All right.
You can actually just listen to the episode and then come back to us and say, I like number 1. Or
You said there were 6.
no, I had 5. I thought, I don't know, maybe I misspoke. I had 5. So you can choose 1. You can choose all of them.
I'm
You can
between
just-
1 and 5.
do you want to hear 1 and 5 again?
No.
Okay. Why don't you just dive right into
Dive
your
right in.
tip of the week, Joey?
All
Take
right.
it away.
Something simple you suckers can do at home is grease your chainring bolts. Because I just did that to yours recently, and it took away a lot of noise.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let him have his pause.
It's also-
because he always has more.
He always does, but he has
I
that
always
weird
have
pause.
a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that I either think is I don't know. Some of it I think it's out of the typical person's reach. It's actually really hard to come up with a basic tech tip. Maybe I just overthink it. Like,
I don't know.
carry your goo wrapper in your bag in case you do get a flat to patch your thing. Like,
See,
I don't
that's
know.
a great tech tip.
Okay, well, carry your goo wrapper after you eat it, and don't throw it out in the first place. Don't be an asshole.
No, that actually the greasing the chain ring bolts. That's a good one.
Yeah, fixes yours.
Is it simple?
Yeah, and you make sure they're tight. I actually I've seen a lot of rides that I've worked support for or events where people are missing chain ring bolts. It's pretty funny.
All together?
Not
Like they're
all of
gone?
them, but like there's one or
No,
two
yeah.
missing. Yeah.
I had a ride I did in Texas, and it was the last day of the tour, and the guy showed up at the last rest stop, and his inside chainring was completely loose and gone. All the chain, just like you said, everything was gone. He's like, I can't shift to my little ring. Well, of course you can't shift to your little ring because it's flopping around. Anyway.
I told everyone to check their bolt in the first place, but no one remembers the chainring bolts.
So chainring bolts, don't put any Loctite.
You can put blue Loctite. Was that 245 on it?
On the threads.
On the
I think he's
threads.
talking about on the outside of the.
You're
right?
talking about on the outside.
I'm talking about
like the interface between the head of the bolt and the.
Well, what I do for Brian is I take one by one. I take the whole bolt system. I take both. You have a
Inner
inside and
and
outside bolt.
outside.
I take it apart. Put a little grease on it.
Put a little grease
On
on
what
the threads.
part?
On the threads of the bolt, and then thread it back in.
Thread it back in.
Actually, I use that PVC joint compound stuff on yours. It's like it is like pipe tape, but
So
liquid form.
does that kind of like squeeze out,
Yeah.
and then it gets into all of the little nooks and crannies? Because there was like an obnoxious bottom back at Creek.
That Bob
Bob
Bacca.
Bacca.
That Bob Bacca quit was well bad.
No, there was an obnoxious bottom bracket Creek that we couldn't make go away, and he fixed it with that.
Did he?
So, yes, he
Yeah.
did. Yes, he did.
Look at him.
Don't put.
And then your derailleur fell off.
No, I ripped it off.
Yeah, sorry.
He's kind of proud of that.
I am a little proud
We
of
should
that.
have Ted. I should mail him up that stuff and have him make a trophy out of it.
I won't.
Oh, it's gone.
I saved
What do you
the
mean it's
derailleur.
gone?
Did you? We threw it
Yeah.
out.
You better
No,
not
I
have
s-
thrown it out. We're going to Frankenstein it.
Oh, they can't. It's broken.
Boken.
Well, I thought you were going to check was the clutch bad?
Well,
We were-
the part where the clutch mounts to the actual frame of the derailleur, the frame of the derailleur where it meets the clutch
Well,
is
I
broken.
want to hang my broken derailleur on my
I saved
wall.
the part with the motor because I want to. That'd be cool to make something out of it or make a trophy. Don't put a lot of extra grease on the outside because it's going to collect dirt.
Yeah, and then your whole waxing of your chain would not work.
Yeah,
Would just be
Brazilian style.
stuff everywhere else. Okay, that's a good tech tip. I like your tech tip.
I know it's dumb.
saved
People are
me-
yelling.
It saved me a little bit of grief.
I get some weird stuff that people will send me on social media that I don't think they realize. I've been a bike mechanic for a long time. I don't know if they think I'm stupid. Like, I'm just putting it out there. Like, I've done this stuff before.
Well, and people are just trying to be helpful. Don't be angry. Don't be grumpy
I'm
with
grumpy
people.
all the time.
Just trying to be helpful. You just go, thanks, man. That's a great tech tip. I'm going to use it now.
sure.
It is
Yeah.
always fun when you're part of a ride. A lot of times, if somebody is having a mechanical on the side, I'm like, "Hey, do you want a hand with that?" And they're like, "No, I got it." And like, I'll sit there and watch them struggle. And I'm like, "So I know what I'm doing. Do you want a hand?" Like, and then I'll let them know I'm a mechanic.
Do you like have like you pull your jersey open? It's got like
What's
super,
the bicycle repairman skit from Monty Python?
Like, no, I don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
the bicycle repairman is a Monty Python skit. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we gotta look that up.
Yeah.
Got to look that up.
I
So-
told everyone I don't announce that I'm a bike mechanic on a ride.
I wouldn't. Hell no. And people
There
be
was
like,
one day we showed up.
Oh, they hit a button.
You just make that your ringtone.
That was number one, Joey. In case you wanna.
Do you guys remember that Mo Monday ride we showed up and Tom started bitching about something and I was like, dude, I'm not a bike mechanic, and you guys called me out for being mean.
Who said that?
You
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, like it's Monday, it's my day off. I'm not a bike mechanic today. And you're like, come on, Joe. I was like,
No, I think you said that. I think
No.
you said I am a bike mechanic.
no, I said no. I was pretty strict about it. I was like, no.
Well,
it's a fun ride. It's my day off.
I'm pretty sure Tom was going to hurt himself though because the
Yeah.
spokes were so loose.
Oh no, that day is different. There was another day where we were in the parking lot before we even rode,
I don't remember that.
and then everyone gave me crap. And
The
I'm
one,
like,
the one was just the three of us, just me, you, and Tom. And
walk a
his-
mile in my shoes.
And his spokes, he like literally the whole wheels. Just like,
oh yeah, I did retention as well on the side of the road.
yes. And that was a long repair.
He needs a new bike.
Does that wrap up your tech tip of the week,
Yeah,
Joey?
we've rambled a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank
That's
you.
a good tech tip.
Next
And
week I'll get my I don't know, my ZZ Top mullet and
make your
and
choice.
glasses.
And if none of you have, this is all about you, Boo Boo.
What if he says no?
If he
to
says
all of them?
if he says no to all of them, I will
No.
go back. I will go
I
right
like-
back to the source, and I will find 5 more.
I am Polish. I like the polka.
Okay, well the poll. If you
Well, I'm,
if you
I'm
want to
half
go,
Irish, half Polish. Maybe mix that in there.
if you're not, yeah, I'll play like a river dance and a polka thing at the same time.
my fa-
Mashup.
Oh, you should.
My favorite
That'd be
holiday
awesome.
is coming up. My favorite meal of
St.
the year.
Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah.
Corned beef and cabbage.
Corned beef is my number one meal.
I keep seeing it at Weiss, and I just want to buy one just to make now. Maybe I will.
Did you guys see what I made on the smoker tonight?
Nothing.
Pork loin wrapped in
Yeah, it
bacon.
looked pretty good.
Where'd you send it?
He texted it to me.
Ooh, I texted it. Did I not send it? I
You
didn't
sent
send
it to me
there,
That's
direct.
fine. Here, just kind of boot me out.
I think I sent it to Jess.
Like about this. I didn't even know we had this this adventure night on Thursday.
How did you not know?
Nobody's talked to me about it.
I've
Literally, you guys have talked about it.
remember, like earlier today, I said, "Hey," I was talking about trainer night. It's like we have adventure night this week.
Yeah, and that's what caught me off guard.
It's been on our Facebook for like 2 weeks.
I'm not on Facebook.
That's right. Wes is off the book face.
It's gone.
No more book face.
It's relaxing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't you?
Because before we started the podcast, you guys were moaning and griping about people on Facebook. I'm like, I don't really care. I don't see any of that. Like having a good day, just ignorant to everything. Like,
You suffer from no FOMO?
no,
Not at all.
I don't really care.
High five you. Virtual high five. That was awesome, dude.
Hey, speaking of virtual and
Yes.
all this talk, I don't know if this should be a this or that, but certain elements of the virtual riding, should it count if you're not on a smart trainer?
I think it's okay. I mean, you're elevating your heart rate. Today's trainers actually have
Yeah, but for the people that want to be like
power curves that are known.
super riders of the Strava
Oh, I
or the
think-
Zwift.
I think if you're like competing and thinking you're quote unquote virtual racing,
Look at my FTP.
I think you've got to be on a smart trainer.
Yeah.
The-
I don't want to be elitist about that.
There's
but
just so many ways for people to still cheat, though. It's like, they just say, I weigh 120 pounds when it's actually,
one day the smart trainer will be able to weigh you while you ride.
that would be awesome.
I don't know if the numbers go that high
I
for
wouldn't
me.
care that much, but it would be awesome for somebody out there.
Because technically, I mean, I wonder how hard that would be, since most of your weight's on the back of the bike anyway.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I just see so many people boost themselves, like their ego on riding Zwift all winter, and then they go outside and they're shit.
Yeah. For me, it's just about work.
Oh, yeah.
It's about work. And they set their trainers to be
Well,
like,
it's just some people
half.
toot their horns too much.
I'm just happy that they're riding their bicycle.
that's right. Whether it's
Yeah,
inside
right.
or outside, whatever.
No, remember,
Just
I'm that grumpy old man.
spin the legs. Spin the legs. That's all that matters.
Yeah, not when you're lying about stuff, though.
You got an Instagram follow of the week. Everything's
They're only
coming
lying
back-
to themselves.
Everything's coming back to Joey this week. So you
Yeah.
won't even be able to do the Facebook pick of the week.
Oh.
I'll do something else.
I'm throwing
I'll
stuff
tell you what,
down. I'm so upset.
I'll draw a picture next week.
We've talked a lot of times about how you should do like a poster board and like take pictures of it and then
Like that commercial with the old woman in Facebook.
You need
That's
to-
not how this works.
you
That's not
need
how
to
any of
do
this
that.
works.
Now that you're not on anything, you need to do that. Have a poster board. I'll buy you a whiteboard.
You don't have to do that.
And you put it on your wall, and
You need
people have to call you and be like, "Wes,
No.
I would like to be in the Wesova."
Email group. You need to just email it to everyone.
Maybe I'll start a blog spot.
There you go.
Oh, God.
There
That's
we
just
go.
like print
We'll
marketing.
blog.
Blogs are dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Instagram follow of the week, Joey. Sorry, Wes and I are over here just having our own little fun.
I was having fun. Playing with my knife.
I know that's scary.
He's gonna cut himself.
I know.
It happens.
If you cut yourself, it's up to you to fix yourself. Wes and I will continue with the program.
Now I got a great paper cut from
We
a
have-
box today.
We have listeners.
Okay. To Instagram follow of the week is Velosmith. VELOSMITH. I've been liking a lot of their stuff lately after I've been out of Instagram jail. Not like Airbnb, which I've been kicked off of. I was not fully kicked off of Instagram yet.
I am also in Instagram jail. I get
Yeah.
out of Instagram jail tomorrow. They told me a date.
I didn't. It was frustrating.
Yeah. They gave me a date. They said, you will be released. Everything will return to normal on February 11th. And I keep hitting the button. And it's like,
We're savage.
It's kind of ridiculous. They'll kick you off for deleting people off of your. That's dumb.
I was trying to clean up my personal account. I followed like 3,000 people. Now I'm down
Jesus
to
Christ.
now I'm down to 1,000.
Cheese and rice.
I am down to like just over 300, I think.
Oh wow!
And then a lot of them are brands. I follow a lot. It's like my Facebook. I follow brands.
Yeah.
I don't really follow people.
So it's like you participate in advertising.
yes, I love advertising.
I do too.
Huh.
I consume all the advertising I can.
So it's like you always hated commercials, but now you subscribe directly
No,
to
now I
commercials.
want
Yeah.
them. Yeah, it's different. When I'm asking
Yeah.
for them, I'm fine with it. But I don't want you to just send it to me.
What-
I do not need commercials for feminine products, but I do need commercials for bike parts and camping gear and stuff like that. And I appreciate it.
What I want
Give me
everyone
the
to do is to not pay attention to the post when you listen to this. Go through your Instagram. I bet you every 5 pictures is a sponsored ad.
Oh yeah,
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. You don't
Yeah.
realize it till you pay attention to it.
Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely.
Also,
it's-
when you get to about 1,000 people, it's really hard to figure out who you want to unfollow.
yeah.
You're like, 1,000 people. It's a lot. It's tough.
Yep. Yep. I'm still going. I'm down to like 300 and something.
Yeah.
And I'm still going through it. I'm going, who is this Ted Redmer guy?
Yeah.
And why am I following? Who's this Dave Pryor guy? And why am I following? That's just for you guys.
So anyway, Velosmith, they got a lot of cool posts. They got some nice bikes, some nice pictures, great content.
Are they a brand, or is that a person, or is it a...
Actually,
What are they?
Thanks, Brian. Can you just delete that out? That was even.
I
He
don't know.
doesn't
What
even know.
I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter really, because it's just cool stuff. And seeing
You're
cool
curious?
stuff.
Is it a bike shop?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm seeing.
I'm pretty
stuff.
sure
Okay.
they're a bike shop. They're like a bike studio, though. They just do Gucci stuff. Yes, they're out of Illinois. Hey, well, we've been getting a lot of Illinois.
So it's a
people.
bike shop.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
Out of
caught my
Illinois.
attention with this nice mosaic build recently, and some other posts in the past. They take some nice pictures. They have, I mean, that's Gucci sitting in their shop. That just looks good.
Nice.
Bourbon Chris King. Also, I'm very impressed with White Industries. We just did a bunch of stuff for Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Eric B on his bike. And man, that stuff looks so good.
I saw that. That was the purple stuff.
The purple, and then the headset
gorgeous.
and the spacers are just.
Gorgeous.
And the hubs, like he's doing a set of hubs for his wife. They're like $300. I mean, I knew that in the past, but a set of White Industry hubs is about $250, $300 cheaper than Chris King.
Hey, whatever happened to the salt and pepper shakers?
Mine's upstairs.
Mine's in Michigan.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't
The-
get any.
the
I just
purple-
wanted to bring up the fact that I didn't get any again.
That purple's
That's
going to
okay.
look good.
I got gold ones, and they
got
work
blue.
well.
I like those are pretty. Where are mine?
That purple's going to look good on my All City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So joining us now is Travis Olson from GRUSK, Gravel Race Up Spruce Knob. Thanks for joining us tonight, Travis.
Oh, thanks guys for having me back on again. It's I've had a incredible year listening to the podcast. Totally stoked to be on the podcast again.
Your wardrobe makes up 70% of my outfits every week.
I appreciate all the posts you guys put in there. So I'm definitely meaning to send Jess one too, since she stole yours. So send me what size she wears.
She'll just have two.
Yeah, that just means she'll have two.
In fact, Wes is
I was
wearing
gonna-
the sweatshirt right now.
Don't you want to know what I'm wearing, Travis?
Well, yeah, you already sent me a bunch of pictures earlier, so I kind of know.
Are you Wes from State Farm? You sound horrible.
She sounds hideous.
No, that really was, and I think the reason that we all wear the sweatshirts so much and so often is they are absolutely
They're
awesome.
so
sweatshirts.
comfortable.
They
They're
are
cool.
the most comfortable sweatshirts. So wherever you got those from, get more of them. Because
will.
they are fantastic.
Nice.
And so everybody that's listening, Travis did, that was about 2 months ago, sent us a little care package, had some awesome beer.
I love the beer.
West Virginia beer, some T-shirts, sweatshirts,
Long sleeve T-shirts.
all sorts
cups,
of crazy stuff. Very generous.
I don't have to go clothes shopping
Your
this year.
cycling cap, everything.
Everything. Yeah,
Bumper
my cap.
stickers.
My wife has stole my cap. She did.
Oh no.
Yes. So, yeah.
Yeah, my wife stole my sweatshirt too.
Well, we'll get you another cap and some more sweatshirts. We'll have plenty.
So Travis, when we chatted last year, did you have any inclination that we would still be around a year later?
I kind of did. Because I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. So if I'm tuning in to listen to a podcast, I hope that means it's kind of good. I'm not an aficionado by any means, but I liked what you guys were doing. It wasn't super formal. You guys weren't really plugging these huge sponsors, kind of catering toward them all the time like other podcasts do. So wasn't surprised at all.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You guys are doing great.
Thank you. I
Thanks.
appreciate that. Thanks for listening and thanks for sticking around with us and all that love and support. So before we get too deep into talking about GRUSK itself, which I am super excited to be actually at GRUSK this year. I couldn't make it last year. I can't remember what it was, but something
One tour,
drew
two
me.
tour, three tour, four.
I don't know.
Cat
There's-
sitting.
Yeah, one of the other, one of those things. But before we get too deep into talking about the event, why don't you open up here? This is a safe space. Tell our listeners a little bit about who Travis is.
Well, Travis Olson is I'm 46 years old. I'm an Aries. I love to ride my bicycle. But in all seriousness, I have a pretty serious, encompassing day job. So cycling is a pretty avid hobby of mine. And 6 years ago, I started planning to do some events, and was helping out with some local mountain bike events, and had the pleasure of being really close to the Hilly Billy course, and know the promoter of that really well. So that got the gears turning for entering into the gravel promotion arena. But I've been cycling for a long time, since I was a kid, and kind of rode gravel roads before it was a thing, either on the BMX bike or even the 10-speed bike growing up, because that's what we had. After college, kind of got into mountain bike racing, especially when I moved back to West Virginia. I met a lot of folks who had given up other pursuits like rock climbing and kayaking and got into mountain biking, so I followed suit and started racing a lot with them, and really got into the cycling scene here in West Virginia. And it's a really good community, a really tight-knit community. We have a good mountain bike association. Now there are a ton of gravel riders where you can just call your buddies up any day of the week and get a good gravel group ride going. I live in a small town called Monongah, West Virginia. A lot of good gravel roads on here in the area, a lot of steep gravel roads. There's really no way to avoid 100 feet per mile where I live. So that forces you to get in a little bit of shape, and that helps a lot. But, like I said earlier, about 6 years ago, I got into the gravel race promotion business kind of just by happenstance when a promoter of a gravel stage race kind of backed out of the event and left it open for me to jump in and do it. So that really worked out in my favor. But that's kind of me in a nutshell. It's really cycling where I gave you that piece of it. If you want to know any other details about my personal life, I'm happy to share.
What's your Social Security number?
Oh yeah, well,
I
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Same as Joey's. We all know Joey's. So, is your day job? You're in a submarine? Is that where you are right now?
Oh, that would be great. No, actually, that'd be terrible.
I knew a guy who was a submariner. It's horrible. What's your bike?
There's a joke there somewhere.
What's your bike choice these days? Bike of choice these days?
So I've been a pretty faithful Cannondale consumer for many years. So right now I'm riding a Cannondale Super X, and I have a Lauf fork on it, one of the carbon sprung forks that they put out on the front of it. It's incredible. I have I have it set up 1x with an E13 9x46 cassette in back and a 42 tooth up front for all the gear weenies out there. And it's an incredible range, but there are some pretty big skips between the cassette teeth. And that's pretty much it for the bike. I'm kind of holding on to that one. My local bike shop owner, a guy named Jason Martin, he just launched a custom bicycle company. So he's an incredible fabricator. He works on $20 million private jets every day as his normal job. So he's started to fabricate custom bikes, and they look beautiful. So that's probably going to be my next ride as a custom bike from Martin Bike Company.
Is that? I was going to say, give the bike shop a shout out. Is that it, Martin?
Yeah, that's Pike Street Bikes in Shinston, West Virginia. Okay. I ride for them. Really good family-owned bike shop business, and they're just wonderful people to know. And the owner, Jason Martin, and his family are incredible.
Cool.
Incredible
Nice.
Bike mechanic, incredible bike builder.
That's the way it needs to happen. The little family run, kind of there. Those are the people we were just talking earlier about local bike shops and what they're facing with the internet and how to keep them alive. And that's so we definitely want to shout out to one that's good in your neck of the woods. So I'll put a link in the show notes and find their socials and make sure we do that. So let's jump into the event. Tell us a little bit. So
Whoa! Hold on. Before we dig too deep.
Okay, go ahead.
Travis, are you still fishing out there?
Oh, here we go.
I haven't fished this year, but I've sworn to get my fishing license this year and do some bike packing down on some of the mountain streams and get back in there and do some fishing. It's about that time where you need a little bit of stress relief and just get out in the winter. And that's a good thing to do in the winter around here in West Virginia. Trout are biting like crazy.
Well, I know we've talked since our last podcast with you, so I think we need to, because I can't make it up for GRUSK this year, I think we need to make it a point one weekend to do a bike packing fishing trip with you and do a little video.
Oh, I'd totally be down for that. Let's put that on the calendar.
Let's get the wheels rolling.
You're free and we'll make it happen.
What's the best time of the year for that?
All the time.
Anytime?
I don't care if you catch
all the
fish.
time, especially in the mountains. But they stock the streams in this area. There are some natives, but they're a lot harder to catch.
Yeah.
You have to wear camouflage. You actually have to hunt them around here. And I'm not that skilled. Someone more skilled is probably a lot better at catching them. But they stock the streams around here. So right now is a good time. Now up until April, early May, when the water's still pretty chilly and they're active.
Yeah.
It might have been the last time we had Travis on that we were talking about. It was when the idea for the bike fish event was the genesis of that idea.
It was like a bike fish race or something like that, where you had to catch a fish and move on or something.
It was like a gravel event. You had to reach a certain point, and then you had like an hour to catch a fish, or if you caught it earlier, you could take it was all Instagram, and you could leave early and total time thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be like a biathlon.
That's a fancy word for it.
Finish the rest of the route.
So since then, I found out that Mike Reamer, aka the kid from Salsa, is huge into bike packing and fishing. And I've sent him a lot of emails, and the only email I got back was I had the wrong email once. Because he'd be a great one to do it with too.
Yeah, he does that. He had a whole video from Salsa.
Yeah,
saw it unpaved,
catching the sun or something.
Yeah,
I'll bug him again. I'm gonna email him every day.
Yeah,
I wrote that down.
Like Andy Dufresne, you write a letter every week and you get a library. Yeah,
you need to start sending him fan mail with your picture in it.
Well, I want to send him a shirt and some
Nice.
pictures, and then like a couple selfies.
You should do that like every week.
Remember
Not an email. You need to actually write the letter
And they need to get progressively more aggressive.
So, Mike,
Start cutting out the letters and pasting them on a page and sending those to him.
so
That'll get
last,
his attention.
Take some of your beard hair and put it in there. Yeah.
last time we were drunk together talking about this, you promised me. That's how it was.
Oh, dear Lord. We've gone way off the GRUSK rail.
Well, I wanted to bring up fishing before we got into the event.
Before you get too deep. I get it.
I'm just fishing for some answers.
I get it.
I don't.
You landed a lunker.
So event dates are Thursday, July 9th through Sunday, July 12th. And looking at the bike reg, there's literally like a bunch of registration options. So could you walk us through sort of the format of all of the different events? Because I know you got some pretty unique and different stuff going on that whole weekend.
Yeah, so I'll start with the Saturday event. So that's Saturday, July 11th. That's the showcase event. That 80-mile. It used to be called the Epic course, but I've transitioned the names of all the courses to coffee cup sizes. I didn't steal it from any coffee shop, if you were wondering. I came up with those on my own.
Got to test those lawyers out.
So the Epic course is now the tall 80-mile course. So it's a little bit longer than it has been. It was around 75 miles but more climbing. So I cut the climbing by about 300 feet, but added 5 extra miles of just incredibly pristine National Forest gravel racing. But to go back to your question, the main events are happening on Saturday. So we have 4 different courses to choose from that are leaving Saturday. We have our 24-mile Spruce Highlights course, which is completely non-competitive. That's the most direct route from the venue up to the summit and straight back to the venue. Folks will have a opportunity to ride the infamous grassy downhill that's in the other courses. It turned into a muddy downhill last year, so that created some course marshal confusion last year. I've taken pains to create new routes to help the course marshals out and lessen the chance of people taking wrong turns. If a course marshal is preoccupied or helping a rider out. I've had a couple problematic turns in the past years that I just totally eliminated this year. So the next course is the Medio 50 mile
hang
course.
on 1 second, Travis. How much elevation in the 24 mile?
So that has just over 2,300 feet of elevation gain over 27 miles. So I thought it was 24, but it's actually 27. So it's incredibly doable. It's a long climb, up to the summit. It's about a 4.5 to 5 mile climb, but it's really low grade. Nothing really spikes over 5% except maybe the last eighth of a mile up to the summit, but it's paved, so it's a little less strenuous due to the pavement. So that's relatively popular. I get a lot of beginner gravel racers or gravel riders who kind of want to be part of a big event, but they're afraid of that big mileage. They just don't want to be out there and have to ride in the sag wagon back. So this is a good opportunity for someone who's brand new to gravel to come out and cut their teeth on some West Virginia gravel on a relatively short course. So the next course is the Medio 50 mile course, and it's right at 51 miles and 4,900 feet of climbing. So it's still roughly that 100 feet per mile. It used to be called the classic course, but some of my buddies were asking me, what's so classic about it? It's kind of gave into what they were saying, and try to even out and make the courses easier to identify. It's a brand new course for this year, except for the summit, of course. It goes into a whole other drainage over in the Monongahela National Forest. So it's a beautiful ride, and it's essentially an out and back. It goes out to this pristine overview, and you can see the summit of Spruce Knob from this overview, and a lot of other mileage that you'll be riding back to the venue. The next up is kind of a showcase event, the 80-mile course, named it the Tall Course. It has 7,200 feet of climbing over 82 miles. Again, this is a brand new course for this year. A big loop, remote gravel, a lot more gravel. I'm staying away from a pretty busy U.S. route by rerouting it this year. Route 33 in West Virginia had a lot of log trucks, just a lot of truck traffic, very fast traffic, and I wanted to get racers off of that paved stretch. It also helps me eliminate some of the really sketchy paved downhills. Been kind of problematic with people overcooking turns. I'd rather keep people safe than have them interfere or run into a car or a car run into them. So that was more just for a safety standpoint, and to give them a better gravel experience. So that's really the showcase events for Saturday. The other course, the other race that I moved to Saturday is the one-day 140-mile course, the GRUSK Grande course. I introduced that last year as a bikepacking event, and I had people coming out of the woodwork wanting to do it in one day, which to me that would be a big day. Not sure I could actually finish the entire route in one day, especially with my current fitness, but there were a lot of folks who wanted to do it. So I created a one-day race out of it. Started on Friday last year, and folks were finished on Friday, and there were a few folks who doubled up and did the 75 mile the next day, just complete animals. In order for to help them out and let them enjoy all the aid stations and food and course marshals on the latter half of the course that the other racers, the other courses will be enjoying, I moved that race to Saturday. So they'll be starting at 7 a.m. Saturday on that 140-mile course, and hopefully finishing about the same time as some of the other racers in the shorter courses. Folks also have an opportunity to bike pack that course, make a 2-day bike packing, just non-competitive adventure out of that, just to see more of the national forest and what that area in West Virginia has to offer. finally, this year, I decided to create another bike packing course. It's a good bit longer. It's 213 miles, and it's quite a monster. And I had envisioned that being a 3-day bike packing course. And I have a lot of folks who are really interested in doing the 3-day bike packing adventure. But then I also had a lot of folks who are interested in just doing it like a full pull, a bike packing race. They'll go pretty minimalist, take their bivy sack or whatever they need, or maybe nothing at all, and just crush the 213 miles in one go. So I created a competitive. I didn't create the competitive. I just let them know that I would time it and I would record times officially for that course this year. But it's a beautiful course. I haven't ridden the whole thing yet in one setting, like one bike packing setting, but I have ridden all the pieces of the course, and it's a gem. I'm pretty happy with the way that course rides and the amount of just backcountry gravel that it takes you.
So how much elevation on the 140 and then how much elevation on the 213?
Oh yeah, I forgot to. So with the 140, you're looking at just over 12,000 feet of elevation. So a little bit less than 100 feet per mile. So it's last year it was 152 miles for that 1-day race with a little bit less elevation gain. So you're trading a little bit more elevation for less miles this year. And for the 213 mile course, you have just a little over 18,000 feet of climbing. So to me, that sounds incredibly daunting, incredibly hard. But for some of the other folks that I've seen registering for the race and talking with me, they seem pretty stoked to have something that's all gravel and that length. They think it's pretty doable in 24 to 36 hour time frame.
So how many people have you talked to that you think are going to do that in a one go?
Well, I should have pulled Bike Reg up at least 5 that I can probably name. Wow. And I've had a few more inquiries about that. Just folks texting me out of the blue, or Facebook messaging me out of the blue, just asking what they think. I have a young kid. I think he's 16 or 17, coming from Georgia up to do it in one pull. I guess he's been ticking off the big southern ultra routes down there. I can't recall his name right now, but apparently he's well known in the bike pack race world.
Wow. That's 18,000 feet, 213 miles. That's bigger than Dirty Kansas. More miles.
It's a monster.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal. Now in an event like that, I mean, even if they're going to try to go with one go, do you have like some minimum gear requirements that you're going to stipulate people have to take with them from a safety perspective, or is it? Yeah.
So the minimum gear requirement from a safety perspective, and I kind of hope the insurance folks aren't listening.
I'll cut this out later if you ask me to.
Oh, that's okay. I'm quite certain they're not listening. But I hope not because you guys aren't great. It's of course a helmet. Finish on the bike that you started on, and everyone has to either rent a spot tracker or bring their own spot satellite tracking device, and they'll register through track leaders. They're going to create the guys at track leaders are going to create maps for us again for these routes, and so we can kind of follow their dots real time. Or pretty close to real time as they're going around the course. And my intent is to have some type of sweep vehicle. It won't be close, but it will sweep the route, or maybe even a sweep rider who's bike packing. I've had a couple guys interested in maybe riding it from a bike packing perspective and sweep and help out if folks really get into trouble.
Cool. Now, this is a massive undertaking. How much you've got to spend an inordinate amount of time from a planning perspective on all of these things. Kudos to you. And I mean, how do you actually do a day job with all of this? I mean, wow.
Well, I keep, part of the requirement for this day job is, I've got to keep it incredibly separate. So, my mornings before I go to work, I'll get up early, have a cup of coffee, do some race stuff. And when I get home in the evening, I'll do some race stuff. There's a lot of evenings sitting with the laptop on my lap, much to my wife's chagrin, and just working on race stuff. Answering emails, plotting routes. Getting input from folks I know who have ridden the roads in that area that I might not be as familiar with. It is a lot of planning. It's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of fun and easy right now, especially in the winter leading up to it, because you know how the race has gone in the past, and you're expecting that same kind of experience for the next GRUSK participants. You see the happy faces for the most part, and you want to give them that same experience, or that really awesome gravel experience that West Virginia and Spruce Knob can provide. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of coordination with the Forest Service, permits, private property owners, things like that. It's stuff that I didn't think about when I started planning this. I just thought I'd get the Forest Service permit, throw a race, and go home and just do it all over again. But it's really not the case. It's hours and days and weeks of work leading up to the event.
How so many rides, so many different events, and just the amount of space the events are taking. How much help do you have with the events? Do you have other people out there helping you? I hope so.
Yeah. I have a pretty good. It's a lot of just friends and family, really. And I'm trying to keep it at that level where it doesn't have to be like its own business, where it's just a big promotion company and that's what I do. I'm trying to still make it, fun and manageable for me and keep that kind of grassroots events feel. So, but you're right. It's abusing family and friends for lack of a better term. And they keep coming back.
That's the way it should be, though.
I try to.
It's the American dream.
To compensate them. Try to pay them a little bit. Some of my friends just they don't like to take money for it. They just do it because they like the event. They believe in the event, and they're just good friends, and they're there to help. And
Nice.
A lot of volunteers. A lot of volunteers come back year to year. A lot of racers bring their spouses or friends who don't have much to do during the day, so they'll come out and work an aid station for a few hours or course marshal, and that helps a lot. And we have some local organizations that help out too. The West Virginia University Amateur Radio Club, they provide all of our communications, like the old ham radios.
Nice.
A little bit more sophisticated now,
Sure.
but those guys are incredible. So they manage all the communications across the entire route, for the 80-mile route. And they do a fantastic job, incredibly professional, way more professional than I would have been at, that stage of my life in college, but was. Do a great job. And we also have, Bikers for Christ. It's a Harley Davidson, motorcycle club. Christian club, and they come out and run an aid station for us. So it's through the help like that makes these kind of just grassroots events possible.
So,
volunteers make it.
So I want to try to recap a little bit. So you've got the 27, the 50, and the 82, and the one-day 140 that all launch on Saturday the 11th. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then the 213, does that launch on Thursday or Friday?
So I'm giving folks the option to launch either Thursday or Friday. So if folks want to do this as a 3-day bikepacking event and take their time and just do it in doable yet still pretty big chunks, they'll go out Thursday at 8 a.m. Thursday at 8 a.m. For those folks who are serious about their time and want to make the best time possible around that course, they'll leave Friday.
Okay. And so you're anticipating that everybody's going to be done. There's a cutoff for that 2:13, and that's on Sunday sometime, or is that Saturday night?
It's really, well, ideally it would be Saturday night, so they can, come have a beer, listen to the live bands play,
Gotcha.
Hang out and tell stories about their 213-mile adventure.
Gotcha. Okay.
With the other Gruskers that are there. We pack up and we're usually out of that venue by noon on Sunday. So I'm really hopeful that everybody's finished. But but we'll have that satellite tracker on Track Leader, so we'll be able to see where they are. And if for some reason we don't see them by Saturday afternoon, or it looks like they're stalled somewhere, we might go do a well check on them,
Okay.
just to do a drive-by, see if they're done. Or if they're still rolling.
Okay, so that I've got a pretty good window into the events now. So there's a whole lot more stuff that's going on this weekend. What else is all wrapped up around the race weekend? What's going on the whole of the weekend?
So race weekend, racers, a lot of racers will probably, let me back up. Most of the racers will probably show up Friday night. That's when the bulk of folks start coming in and picking up their mountaintop campsites. There will be a few people coming in for those longer routes, either Wednesday night or on Thursday. And so for them, we just hang out. We're still putting up the event Wednesday and Thursday. So folks just come out and hang out. It's a pretty unique venue. So it's a pretty cool place to just hang out. And it has two large yurts, kind of like they have in Mongolia and those parts of Asia. So it's pretty unique. They can hang out there, or they can go for some pre-rides on the parts of the course if they show up early. On Friday night, pre-registration starts, formally starts, except for those bikepacking folks. So pre-registration will end, and so they can come pick up their packets on Friday, get their campsite set up. We also have dorm rooms available. They're nearly sold out. We have a on-staff cook who prepares meals, so you can buy a meal plan, so you don't have to worry about bringing your food. You can just eat Friday dinner, Saturday breakfast, Sunday breakfast. And eat your lunch out on course. So you don't have to worry about food if you don't want to. You can buy that food plan. We have live music. Definitely have a live band playing for about 4 hours on Saturday night. We're looking at our budget and registration. We might be able to swing a band on Friday night too, or at least some live music on Friday night, since so many people will be there camping. We'll have a beer tent, a little beer garden set up Friday night. So Friday night will be, we're going to charge for a cup this year to help support the amateur radio club.
Nice.
So you can purchase beer on Friday night, but the beer is free on Saturday for all participants. And that's through Greenbrier Valley Brewing. They've been with us since we started this event. Incredible local, privately owned craft brewery in the southern part of the state in Lewisburg. And we have such a good relationship with them, and they have such good beer, and their beer cans have incredible art. Just a really good company. We're glad to be partnered with them.
Yeah, we've enjoyed some of that
Yeah.
that you sent our way.
I love the Mothman
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That Mothman, that black IPA is really good.
I'm coming for
you
the
can drink
beer.
way too many of those.
The music.
Yeah. So if a person, a rider, wants to bring friends and family, they can do so in campsites. Where do you get the most? Where are you most a part of the event in the weekend? I would assume in the campsites.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So the campsite, it's up in this huge field, this big huge meadow on both sides of the road to this venue, and it'll make more sense when you get there and check it out. It's hard to even see in some of the photographs of the race, but it's idyllic, and you have these 50-mile views from the site, and it's not a formal campground. It's just a meadow. You drive through there, pick your spot, set up your tent, sleep in the back of your truck or your Winnebago, and just enjoy the scenery. Or Prius if you guys are still driving a Prius.
I don't know if a Prius could get up there.
Yeah, it'd have to get
Oh,
there
it can
first.
get up there. We'll get it. I have a big truck. I'll tell you if I have to.
Put it in the
We'll
bed
make
of the
it work.
truck and bring it on up. So, how goes registration?
Registration's incredible. It's shocking me, and I'm pleased to see it, especially early. That always helps the race promoter when people sign up for races early. That way you can kind of gauge, how much stuff you're going to need at the event pretty early. But we have 213 as of, I guess as of before I jumped on the call with you guys tonight. So that is about 3 times as many registrants as this time last year.
What's your
So it's a lot, and it's daunting, but I'm pretty happy about that. And that means that hopefully I'm doing something right, and people are having a good experience and telling their friends and other folks about the event, and people are wanting to be part of GRUSK.
So 213 out of what's your cap? What's your maximum?
So I have it's a soft cap, but I'm probably going to stick to that cap, and it's at 450 total racers. So my plan is to have, I'd like to see about 375 to 400 for the Saturday events, with another 50 to 75 for those longer courses, because they'll be on a different part of the course, and they won't be all jammed up with the Saturday riders until the very end. I haven't received any formal cap limit from the Forest Service, but I'm trying to anticipate what they would want and what they would tell me, and it's really just for safety and for my management stress.
Sure.
I don't. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing. It sounds like you've got so many places where you're going to have riders that if you went too much larger than that, this, like you said, the stress on trying to manage all that would be insurmountable, be massive.
Yeah, it is. And the venue's big. I think the venue could probably accommodate 1,000 people, but it would be hard for me to staff for 1,000 people. And really, if you're starting an event like that, especially in the narrow country roads here in West Virginia, you have some tight turns, and if I try to think of the other users of the Mon National Forest, because the roads are open during the race, you will see car traffic. And the last thing I want is to get my permit pulled because I have 1,000 riders blocking the summit of Spruce Knob. And I can't let other people in there to experience that place also. So,
Sure.
I try to be cognizant of other users' experience, during race weekend. I don't want to hog the area. 450 seems about right. Maybe even a little big, but that seems comfortable for me this year.
That's awesome, man. It sounds like an amazing, amazing weekend. I'm so stoked that I'm going to be able to be there. So you got any?
I'm stoked you're going to be there.
You got any sponsor shout outs you want to toss?
Yeah, Lauf Forks. The great guys from Iceland who create these carbon fiber spring forks. They're back on board again. They've been supporting the last 4 years. Really great guys. They create their own they have their own custom bicycle. Really cool products. Really good guys to work with. Of course, Pike Street Bikes. They're my local shop, and they are. Jason Martin and his family just provide me so much support. Not just sponsorship and prizes, but he's a good friend. So always love to have them. WTB is on board this year as the official tire of GRUSK, so we're still working out the details of that. Industry 9 will be donating another custom wheel set, so we'll probably do another custom wheel set raffle like we did last year. Of course, Greenbrier Valley Brewing is going to have their incredible beer on tap again this year. Hammer Nutrition, Squirt Lubes, they've been really good supporters of this race through the years. We have a lot of local sponsors too, the local businesses in Pendleton County. There's some local restaurants And you just go to our website at www.mountainrides.net, and we have our sponsors listed there. So we're really stoked to have all the support for this race. Looking to have Shimano sponsored last year. I have a pretty good indication that Shimano is going to come in and support us again this year. So really happy to have the support.
Ask them to bring me a derailleur.
I will. Let me know what kind. GRX
GRX
You broke
DI2.
the DI2 one. You broke the fancy one.
I tell them I broke one you aren't supposed to be able to break. Right, Joey?
You're going to have to contact your gold sponsor to get you a new one.
I don't think anywhere in the fine print it says not breakable.
It can run
DI2
underwater.
should be unbreakable.
They would look at your bike and go, "Where's your mechanic?"
Hey, Travis, I know you and I have talked about this. We don't have the details ironed out, but you said let's do a GRUSK giveaway an entry through Strava clubs. So we're going to work on the details of that. The thing is, right now, folks, if you're listening, go and join the GTD Strava Club. Strava Club.
Good on, girl.
That is www.strava.com/club/gravel
I'm not even the one that's drinking. It's
travel.
Joey.
We're doing a podcast today.
So go and join the GTD Strava Club, and you also want to join the GRUSK Strava Club. So you guys have a Strava Club. I will put a link in the show notes to both of those and tell people we are going to, at some point in the future, Travis is going to pull a name out of the hat. Watch me pull a rabbit out of this hat, and we're going to have a winner. I'm getting
Don't do that again.
Yeah. Winner.
And you want to do video for this.
Your belly button popped out
I
and
wish I
everything.
had video for
Did it
that.
really?
I don't know.
No, it did. Winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Travis. It's great to get caught up on
it's the least
GRUSK.
I can do for all your listeners.
I think we've got a great recap of what
Yeah.
this event's going to look like, and if anybody wants to sign up for this, I will have a link in the show notes for the bike reg and a link for your website. But what is your website so people have it?
It is www.mountainrides.net.
Mountainrides.net.
.net.
So, and there's a link, I'm assuming, on that to the bike reg. I think people have gotten accustomed to just going to bike reg and searching for what they're looking for.
I do.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I
do.
do.
And I usually find the website through Bike Reg. So bikereg.com/GRUSK. That's pretty simple too.
Oh, that's easy too. Bike reg.
I always like going to graveltraveldirt.com and finding my rides.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
a
a whole
good
calendar.
idea.
That's really easy to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. I always go there first and find my rides.
We got them all there. All the good ones. All the big heavy hitters are there on
You
our
do.
calendar. And I'm going to add some more, guys. I'm adding more. We've had a lot of
Yeah.
suggestions. So, Travis, you want to stick around for this or that? I'm assuming your answer is yes, so I'm going to dive right in. How you like me now? So I'm going to wrap up our Facebook poll for our this or that from episode 57. Now, the question that I chose to share on Facebook was a very rusty chain, or you have no brake pads left. And by a landslide, people chose to have a rusty chain. By a landslide. 61% of the people chose rusty chain over no brake no brake pads. We're having a little bit too much. We're having a little bit too much. Which would you have preferred, Travis? A rusty chain or no brake pads?
Well, when I first listened to the podcast last week, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a big dude. I weigh 225 pounds. I got to stop or I get hurt.
And hurt other
but then
people.
I thought about it a little bit, and I've been known to run through my brake pads and stop with just my calipers. So, I mean, I know I could probably get stopped without brake pads. I just don't know if I could listen to a rusty chain for
All day
more
long.
than a mile or two without just losing my mind.
So you would go with the rusty chain. You would go with, which would you go
No
with?
brake pads. I'd go with no brake pads.
No brake pads. Riding big. So let's jump right into our this or that's for this week. Travis, I'm going to toss it over to you first, and then I'm going to
Okay.
ask. I think I'm going to mix things up a little bit because I feel
No.
no.
Don't do it now.
No.
No.
Okay, then it's Joey, then
Mix
it's
it up.
me, and then it's Wes. I feel like Joey's really fired up over there and ready to go.
I'm a little buzzed.
I feel,
This never happens.
I feel like Joey's ready to go.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Aldrin.
first item on this or what?
This is
This all
I'm so excited.
This all what?
I'm so excited for this or that.
How's that
Sweet
sweet tea going for you,
I
Brian?
just want to see how it's going.
It's just vodka.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. Be bulletproof or have the ability to survive a fall from any height. That's any height. And Wes, just for you, even if you landed on a bullet, you would be okay.
No, then you're not bulletproof.
Okay, we'll get to you
That's
later.
a bullet.
Hey, Travis, would you rather be bulletproof or have the ability to jump off of a tall building?
Oh, survive a fall. That would be so much fun. I mean, I can think of a thousand different things I want to jump off of already.
There we go. Okay, Joey?
I'm Batman. I'm going to be bulletproof, and then I'm going to be on the president's security detail. I'll take every shot for him.
Oh, so you'd be noble. You would
I'm
be a
always noble.
superhero.
Superhero.
Very excellent. I would absolutely positively want to be able to survive a fall from any height because that is my one weakness.
See,
is I'm a little scared of heights.
I'm afraid of heights, so I don't want to know what it's like.
But think about it too. That's like the next best thing to flying. You basically could just but man, that landing would be hard.
I was gonna say it says survive. It
Yeah,
doesn't
like
say
so-
like you just like bounce back and you're good.
Yeah, we should probably put some parameters around this.
Wes,
I'm going to be in a wheelchair.
what's your answer?
I think
Wes?
if you fell on a bullet, you would still die if you're bulletproof.
I would fall on a
If you were
bullet.
bulletproof, yeah, no, this one I don't like it. But I would
Okay.
rather, if I'm just gonna survive the fall, I'd make me bulletproof.
No, I think the intent is if you survive a fall, you would just walk away. You just walk away.
And you wouldn't
Walk,
hurt.
walk,
It would
walk,
just be
walk.
okay.
Yeah, you'd just be fine. You'd be like, oh, just dust the dust off, and
And move on.
you move on. You'd be like, okay, I'm fine.
Bulletproof.
Ooh, I
Still
hope
bulletproof.
Yeah.
Still bulletproof.
If I'm bulletproof, can I survive a lightsaber?
Well then, and
Yes.
then what about like missiles and stuff? They're
yes,
just
because
big
that's kind of a
bullets.
projectile.
Yeah, definitely bulletproof.
Oh, yeah.
I get into so much antics at that point in time.
Yeah, because you just
Why not?
You just go everywhere.
Just cause mayhem.
I feel like I unlocked all the cheat codes on GoldenEye on N64.
Okay, we're going to get away from this
All
one
right.
because it's rather violent. Would you rather ride the last 10 miles of your favorite gravel ride with a broken pedal or no pedal, or
We gotta be
a
specific. Broken or none?
No, it doesn't matter. It's either
No
broken, or okay. We're just going to say no. It's
Nope.
gone.
It's gone. No
It's
more
gone.
pedals.
No more. No, just one pedal. So I'm going to start over. And this one actually came from Travis. Would you rather ride the last 10 miles of your favorite gravel ride with no pedal on one side of your bicycle, or have no seat post? So you're either pedaling one-legged, or this 10 miles a long way, or pedal standing up. Travis?
Well, I speak from experience because I've had both happen to me. And I'm going to have to go with, I'll stand up. I'll stand up for 10 miles because pedaling one leg for 10 miles is brutal.
Okay. Joey?
False. I've done both. I have ridden crank brothers before that have broken, and I have broken seats and seat posts while defying gravity.
But which would you do? Which would be your choice?
Sure.
I don't know. That's a good one. Well, I'd rather stand up and use my two legs than sit down and use my one leg.
Okay.
Gladly pay you a hamburger today.
For $1 tomorrow, yeah.
Okay. So have you made a decision?
Don't ride crank brothers.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fair.
Also, don't break your seats and seat posts while downhilling.
Okay.
I've also done that at the same time.
So which would you rather have?
I could stand up.
Okay, so you're standing
I would,
up. You're choosing.
I would sit on the top tube and pedal.
Okay.
It happens.
So I would turn my bike into like a strider bike. And I would
That is harder than you think.
10 miles is a long ways to not. I guess you could just stop every once in a while.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be so bad. Is it all downhill?
It's your favorite
No.
gravel ride. So
It's
it's
your
All my favorite gravel rides end with giant downhills. So there we go. 10
that's
miles
easy.
downhill.
10 miles
No
downhill.
pedals don't matter. Don't need them. Wes, what's your answer?
that was my thought too. It's
Yeah?
just a downhill into my gravel ride. I'm gonna sit on that seat and just coast.
Yeah. We channel our inner. Oh God, I'm channeling.
I hope
my
you guys
inner
get
Wes.
saddle sores.
Holy crap!
Except if you survive any fall and land on a bullet, you would die because you're not bulletproof.
Okay. Third item. Do you prefer the Summer Olympics or the Winter Olympics? Travis?
Winter, definitely winter.
Okay. Joey?
Well, I think if I had to actually separate everything, I don't know.
You get very
This
thoughtful.
is a
He's
tough
lost in his mind.
I love the Olympics. This is tough.
So why don't you just pick the Olympics?
I just like to watch the Olympics. Yes,
Okay.
let's just
We're not
say.
going to make Joey pick tonight.
The fall Olympics.
Well, beer Olympics.
You know what I've always thought weird? Swimming is a winter sport, but it is in the Summer Olympics. I have never understood
It's only
that.
winter in high school.
Well, no one's going to swim in the winter, dumbass.
Well, they're all swimming inside anyway.
True.
Dumbass.
Dumbass.
I just slid out.
Touche.
I had a little too much whiskey.
I'm actually going to go with Summer Olympics because, I don't know.
Summer is fun.
I'm not into
Simple phrases by Joey. Summer is fun. Birds fly.
Hold on, you don't like watching all the cool ski sport or like all the snow sports
Nah,
stuff? Like
nah.
bobsled all the way
Things
down
that-
to like
No, yeah. Wintertime is.
wintertime is pretty badass.
There's some like weird crap that's
Yeah.
going on.
cross
And then-
country skiing.
I think I read
snowboarding.
something. Somebody described curling as just like a bunch of dads that like accidentally ended up at the Olympics.
There's a thing the other day I saw. I was like, what if there was an Olympics where you didn't know what the sports were and you just showed up and you were entered?
Yeah.
It'd be like they'd have to show you what curling
Like-
is.
Well, what's the one where they ski and they shoot? It's the
Biathlon.
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 Yeah.
Biathlon.
Like how awesome is that?
There's
Yeah.
more, I think there's more winter stuff you wouldn't normally watch if it wasn't for the Winter Olympics. Then
But it's also cold.
a lot of the summer
And-
stuff is normal stuff.
So it's also the timing of the Winter Olympics. It's like when you can't be outdoors anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not sit inside and watch the Olympics at
Yeah.
night? So
Yeah.
that sounds.
I mean, there's some pretty boring stuff in the Summer Olympics.
okay.
Another left turn. It's like NASCAR but slower.
Although, was it the women's road race last Summer Olympics where that this lady just destroyed
Oh, yeah, that
herself
was
on the
terrible.
road bike? Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give Wes an opportunity to answer now, Joey.
Oh, he just
I just
answered.
answered. Winter.
You said winter?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you
Yeah.
because Joey was over there
Winter.
rambling. Okay. Last item on this or that for this week. Would you rather have an endless beer supply with a beer belly or have a limited beer supply with no beer belly? Travis?
Oh man, this is a tough one. I mean, I kind of already have a little bit of a beer belly. I'm trying to get rid of that now,
Don't
but
we all?
I'm gonna have to go limited beer with no belly.
Okay.
And it's surely because I don't want to become an alcoholic and die of liver cirrhosis. And that's what would happen if I just had endless beer.
Just get a transplant.
Wow, that was
We'd live in 2020.
You know, don't get a transplant. Just grow a second one and save it for later.
Brian just pointed at me and Wes.
Joey?
Well, I'm drinking whiskey right now.
So you don't care about beer?
No, I'd rather have a limited supply of really good beer,
Okay.
like Left Hand Peanut Butter Stout, than
What if it was your limited supply was just Coors Light was the only beer you could
I do
drink?
like Coors Light.
That's great after cutting
Like,
the grass
it-
in
it's-
summer. I
Yeah,
will admit.
Coors Light's a good, refreshing beer after you do some
Because
activity.
it hydrates you. It's
Actually,
like water.
Yeah, a good
like it.
cider's good too after like a bike ride. But
Yeah, but isn't your like unlimited amount of beer like the beer that you want to have unlimited amounts
yeah,
of?
my
I'm going to
unlimited
go
amount of
with
beer.
that because that sounds like it's more fun.
Because
Yeah.
a stout's
Yeah.
going to put some belly in my
Like
beer
at the,
belly.
you would just get whatever you wanted would appear. Like if
Okay.
you wanted a Coors Light after a
whoa,
ride.
whoa. You still
Right?
have to go buy it and get it.
No, it's
not,
unlimited.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, unlimited is like
Man,
magical.
It's
there
not
is-
magic beer.
No,
Yeah, because apparently you have a magic beer belly forever.
there's
I got a baby in here.
in the world of this or that, there's no dollar signs.
Okay. All right. That's a new rule. I'm going to
Just
put it in the
free beer.
canon. I'll put it in the canon. I'm going to go with no beer belly because it's like that.
You are looking trim lately.
I've been losing some weight. I swam today again. Didn't get on the trainer again tonight though.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, trying to train for Croatan.
Croatan.
But 50, going at it.
I'm going for the 50.
hard, going home. Hey, how long are you going to stay with me, Joey?
2 miles.
Nice. Wes,
he will finish the race.
he will finish.
I won't
You
say
should
I'll
ride a
finish
tandem.
the
Or
50,
you will
the
not be
100,
welcome
or the
home.
150.
I would ride a tandem with you, Joey.
Oh, nice.
You guys
I
would
would
finish
absolutely.
that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah.
We got some horsepower.
Rip that derailleur right off there. but I'd have a bike mechanic with me. He'd be like, "Okay, fix it."
That's
He's
not
like-
any good if
He's
your
like,
derailleur
no,
is
it's
blown up."
Saturday. I'm off. I'm not a bike mechanic today. Fix your own half of the bike. This half's mine.
Wes, what would you choose?
I'm going to assume that if I have an unlimited beer supply and I'm going to have a beer belly, that the beer is whatever I want it to be. But
Yeah, I
it's-
would say so. Yeah,
But it's unlimited, so I'll just have whatever I want whenever I want it.
yeah.
So I'd choose that. Who cares?
I choose.
The beer belly has not
I-
limited anybody.
I am going to change my answer. I'm going to say endless beer supply with no beer belly. That's my new answer.
Because why
F&A
not?
cotton.
Yeah, that's my new answer.
That's the best answer.
And on that note, Joey's pouring more screwball. Welcome to the Arc.
I've had a lot of screwball tonight.
That's awesome.
You are a screwball.
That's nice.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Hey,
Stop
Travis,
screwing around.
thanks for joining us tonight and rehashing GRUSK and man, it sounds like an amazing weekend. And like I've said earlier, I'm really stoked to be there. I think you'll see me on Wednesday night, maybe. Wednesday coming in.
Oh, nice.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
just
be there. We'll be there Wednesday. So come on.
Brian's
out.
on his way up now.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Awesome.
So
We'll go
thanks.
fishing.
Whew. And we definitely need to put
We
that
will do
together.
the fishing thing.
We need to put that together, get that on the calendar, and have
Yeah,
some
let's
fun with
do it.
that. That'll be a tremendous time. So, thanks again, Travis. We appreciate it, and let's stay in touch, buddy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Love you.
Care.
Bye.
Love you,
Love you.
bye.
Bye.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Hey, you guys got anything else before we shut this very long podcast down?
Yes, I have something.
Okay, please, Joey,
All
share.
right. I forgot to mention that my Force 1 Eagle conversion has landed.
And it's working?
The Eagle has landed.
Nice.
Yeah, I threw that big ass long Eagle cage on my
Uh-huh.
Force derailleur. Flawless today.
Flawless.
Yep.
Now, is that a ride flawless or stand flawless?
Well,
Stand.
stand right
flawless.
now.
Stand flawless.
But it looked good. So I took apart two derailleurs, and I just Frankensteined it and
You
it
mashed
worked.
them.
Yep.
You did a derailleur mashup.
Yeah.
Nice.
And right now it clears the 1142 perfectly.
How are you liking the one by in general?
I like it because when I have been riding outside, I have been riding the Crux, and the thing, and it's actually been great to talk to customers over the last, what have I had, like 3 or 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
I never really noticed about the one by, but it is a little bit harder with a group setting where like it's you don't have the fine tuning, and it's hard to explain to people because I have the same high and low gearing, but during a group setting, it's harder. Like when I shift, it's pretty dramatic. Like as far as my gearing,
Me too.
you can't shift, silly. You don't have a bike right now. So yeah, it's pretty noticeable my fine tuning that I don't have.
Okay.
I miss my All City.
Well, you still
I
got
love
it.
that little fella.
You can still ride it.
Yeah, but it's hanging out. Like it's like my third bike right now because my Sequoia is on the Wahoo. The Crux is the outside bike, and the All City's just hey.
You need to alternate, but no, not until after
It's
Crow
the
Town.
beginning
Yeah.
of the end.
Not until after it's right.
It's the end of the world. It's the longest I've had a bike. Actually, my Sequoia is coming up on a year in April. No, March. No, February.
Sometime.
I'm doing pretty
sometime.
good.
It's coming up.
Yeah,
It's coming up.
I almost sold it at Bike Swap. I thought about taking it to Bike Swap for shits and giggles and putting like $2,000 on it and seeing if someone would buy it,
Right.
but I don't want to.
No, why would you do that? Don't do that.
I didn't.
No, don't do it.
He didn't. He still
He
has
didn't?
I
it.
didn't.
He didn't.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't you die.
Okay, Wes, do you have anything you want to add before we wrap this show up? This is going to go down in history as the longest GTD
Longest.
episode
This is the first one.
ever.
I have been pretty buzzed in a long time.
I wish we could keep going.
I know. Let's just keep going. All right. So
Go out and vote.
Nader, Ralph Nader.
So, a little preview for next week. We're going to be interviewing Kelly Paddock from the Rocktown Rambler. Did you have anything? You didn't look like you did. I asked you.
No, I didn't.
I gave you the
When is the
opportunity.
Rocktown Rambler?
The Rocktown Rambler is this season. Thanks for listening to this episode.
Hold on.
I don't know when it is. We'll
I
find out
feel like we
next
should
week.
record another episode right now.
No.
I'm feeling pretty good. Wes is about to make brownies.
Yeah, we're gonna have brownies. Stick around.
Might
Hold
stick
on.
around
Hold
for
on.
that.
Sticker packages are live on our website. I
Yes.
have the Grateful Dead package.
Mhm.
I have the Roadless Travel package. I have the I'm an okay fan, which luckily no one's bought.
I'm an okay fan.
And then I have well.
I listened to you and I supported you
Hold on.
once, but I didn't like your sound, so I pulled my support.
Drum roll, please. I have the super fan package.
Superfan's the way to go.
I have sold more super fan packages.
There's so many stickers in that, dude.
And then, if you haven't noticed yet, I always give a little extra love every time.
Yes, absolutely.
That's gross.
It happens, but check out our store, graveltraveldirt.com.
Okay.
Go to the store. We have I changed the website a little bit. Did you see that?
What'd you change?
Well,
Oh, you changed the Shopify store.
so
yeah.
you see sticker pack. Look at all those stickers.
It's amazing. It's amazing the number of stickers that you have.
I haven't sold any just fan packs, which is like the okay fan.
Good.
We've been selling all.
But
we've
leave
actually
it
sold.
there. Leave it there to make people feel bad. They would not buy that because they would feel bad about that.
Man, you
wanna
get
buy
a
the
super
big
fan
one.
pack, you get everything, and I
Okay.
handwrite a letter, and I mail it out the same day. I'm on top. Tell Dave I'm on top of shipping.
You are.
Ship
you just
happens.
told him because Dave
Yeah.
listens.
I shit my pants.
I am so good.
Do you ever see that Kmart commercial?
You are. I want to give you props.
I'm
for
trying
that.
to get on top of it.
I want to give you props for that.
Our new
because-
Patreon supporter, his letter will go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Handwritten.
Yep.
It's
And
not legible,
you
but
won't
it
be able
happens.
to read it.
Hey, I got okay handwriting.
No, but not after tonight.
Oh no, I won't. We haven't made our brownies yet.
Anything else? 'Cause-
No.
okay,
I
thanks.
need to make brownies.
Hold on, Jersey
Okay.
update. They'll be here before Grow 10.
Good. No, and they're not going to come with coronavirus.
That's what I remember. I called you. Actually, I was drinking the other night. Man, I drink very seldom.
He called me and was like, "I'm worried about the Jersey's going to have coronavirus." And you were totally serious.
I know. I was like, oh my god. I was doing an economics paper, and I was reading about Apple and Apple's production of AirPods and the fact of the coronavirus, and they're not going to have supply and demand, and then like some of these might come over with Corona. I was like, oh my god, Wes, I got to call Brian. So I called Brian. I was
You
like,
FaceTimed me is what
I
you
know, I was
did.
like, we might have Corona in our jerseys, and it's not the beer. It happens, but oh my god.
I could just release the end of this as an episode.
Well,
I
we're
know,
going to
we
talk about coronavirus. I was listening to
don't
something where
know.
apparently like Chinatowns in U.S. are like losing business because of it. And it's like, so does every Chinese person just have the coronavirus just like activate all of a sudden?
I got an idea. The Corona Tan 150.
One guy running around with a mask and you got to stay away from him.
And if he catches you and he touches you, then
You're out.
boom. No,
You're
no.
out.
You also get it, and then now there's more people with it, and they're chasing down the people.
I played this
It's
game
like
in
zombie
elementary-
tag or whatever it's
I
called.
played this
Yeah.
game in elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it. Bike tag.
Yeah.
Bike tag, you're it. And you got the deadly disease.
And the first guy's name is Wuhan.
The Corona Tan with Wuhan 150.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to jump in. Thanks for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. This podcast is listener supported by incredible people on Patreon or PayPal. And if I'm talking to you, thank you very much. If I'm
Thank
not
you.
talking to you, please come join us. We're special. And we have Olympics. So
Whoa! I have to, that is no.
If we didn't lose him during coronavirus, we definitely lost him there.
I'll put my foot in that one.
our show could be found wherever you find your favorite podcast. Please take a minute to like, follow, subscribe, smash the button.
I'm still
Come
upset about
on.
what you just said about Special Olympics.
I don't know why I said that. I apologize.
We just lost 6 listeners, and
No, we
all of them
didn't.
were me.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
They understand. And don't smash anything. Just like, follow, subscribe. I all of a sudden feel very self-conscious about using it because Wes just gave me a very discerning
Salt Life.
like.
That's what gave you the certain, not the special stuff?
Yeah, no. How can people find us, Wes?
Just Google
Internet.
us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Google
Yeah,
it.
everywhere.
Yep.
I was offering autographs at
Oh,
Bike
you got a
Shop.
smartphone? Get on there. Gravel Travel Dirt.
Make it work.
That'll pop up. GravelTravelDirt.com.
I tell people.
Oh.
I tell people to just search #LoveYouBuy and
Hold
they'll
on.
find us. Yes.
Although it was not an intercom, Tom yelled out for a lot of people to hear at Bike Swap that he loves GTD.
He did yell it.
Really?
But yeah, he did yell it.
Tom Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Was I already gone? Must have been because I didn't hear it.
I don't know how
It
many
was pretty
people
late
heard
in the
it.
day, but he yelled it pretty loud.
He did yell it.
Okay.
Did you buy him lunch?
Did you buy him lunch?
I never saw him again.
Oh.
I will buy him lunch, but I don't think that I really owe him lunch. He's supposed to do
Well-
it over the loudspeaker.
Yeah, and it was
That was
lun-
the stipulation.
It was nasty lunch at the actual bike swap. You had to
No,
have like their
man.
fries and nasty.
Their chicken tenders were so good.
Were they really?
Yeah.
I didn't have any of that.
I loved it.
So he would have to wait until the next bike swap that Wes is there. That'll be what, like 3 or 4 years?
2024.
Oh, God. It's like The Simpsons. You're going to be back for bike swap 2024. So you got sidetracked. How can people get in touch with us, Wes?
Google.
Google. Yeah, seriously,
Google.
just Google it. I don't
so
know. Ask
popular now.
Jeeves. He'll find it for you. GravelTravelDirt.com. If you're still doing Instagram, if you're getting the likes and the little shares and things like that,
Little hearts.
Unless you're blocked like me.
yeah, delete it. Just delete it. Trust me.
Yeah, you should.
Delete your Instagram, and you don't have to follow us on Instagram. Way easier. Or if you're still there, Mid-Atlantic GTD. Phone number 410-231-3850. Hashtag AskGTD. Hashtag for questions, comments, concerns, complaints.
Have we checked that?
I don't know how.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, I'm trying to make a second episode out of this.
Oh, it may actually turn into 2 episodes because this is so damn long.
Anyway, Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt is recorded in Solomons, Maryland, live in the kitchen.
Thank you, Wes.
Thanks for riding along, and until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others, drink whiskey. Love you, bye.
My heart. My heart.
Be still.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Do you have anything else, Joey?
Oh, man, we haven't asked GTD. It's what's the name drawn in the cartoons?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
going to make
Keith.
brownies.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
everybody.
brownies.
If you're-
Gravel brownies.
If you're still here, thanks for listening.
If you're still
everybody.
here,
Stay hanging out with us.
come have a
this
drink
week.
with us.
Throwing the papers up in the air.
Hey,
Good
man.
night.